Sift Connor Leon through that fourth line with Halloween Yanmar.
Well, we saw it a little bit already in Game 3, but I would say this, only if they want or need to. And I think if Edmonton comes out, and this is the key for me, they played 8 of 9 periods that I would say are definitely emblematic of the kind of hockey they're going to need if you're going to go on a long postseason run. The one period, they didn't bring it, cost them dearly, and that was the first period of Game 2 on home ice. They allowed the Kings to push their way back into the series. But if Edmonton asserts itself early, there's no reason. I like your wording, Bob. That's a nuclear option.
Yeah.
Don't go to the nuclear option if you're up 2-1 and in command of Game 4. I think you'll see it enough. There'll be a wrinkle here or two. Chris Knobloch has shown that in this series already. We've seen some combinations kind of appear out of thin air, even when things were going well. To Rob's point, when things are going well, it doesn't mean you can't make changes, to continue to tinker, to continue to refine your lineup, because I think Edmonton's goals are greater than just this game and this series. Having said that, the focal point has to be your first 20 minutes tonight. Take away whatever glimmer of hope LA might have left. And the only way you do that is assert the fact that you're once again the better team in the first period of Game 4.
Rob, the Oilers, they got to Drew Doughty. Turned the puck over in the first goal. He's playing 26 minutes a game. Don't get me wrong, he's a Hall of Fame first ballot.
But maybe one of the worst games we've ever seen him play, right, Rob?
But they got to him. And I expect them to push the pace on Doughty again, dump Bucks into the corner and hammer him every chance they get. Your thoughts?
Well, one of the problems, and we talked about this before Game 1, one of the problems for the LA Kings is their third pairing. Their third pairing's not strong, and that's something that you can take advantage of. When you don't have a strong third pairing, you overplay other players. And Drew Doughty he's playing more minutes than he probably should, and probably is capable against a team that's fast and physical. And yes, the goal that he turned over that gave the Oilers a 1-0 lead the other night, that just set up a tough night for the LA Kings. So the Oilers continue to be physical on him. He's going to play 25, 26 minutes a night, throw it in his corner, finish every check. All the checks have to be clean, but just every time you finish, it just takes a little bit of energy out of you, just a little bit more. And again, he's one of my favorite players I've ever watched in the National Hockey League. He plays the game the right way, but if he is left on an island, as he has been many times in his own end, it wears on him. So yeah, you be physical on him, you be physical on Kopitar, on Kempe. That's part of National Hockey League playoff hockey. You wear the other team down, and when you're winning, you don't feel tired. When you're losing, your energy is sapped, and that's what the Oilers want to do tonight. As Jack said, jump on them early and don't give them belief. If the LA Kings score first, guess what? They're going to believe they can win this game. If they're trailing, they're going to look up the scoreboard and go, no, here we go again.
All right, updating Pizza 73 out-of-town scoreboard. The Rangers have got their first sweep to open a playoff run since 2007 when they did that to Atlanta. That's right, Atlanta. 4 straight. Jack, give me 30 seconds on what Vancouver accomplished today against Nashville. It's just crazy.
Well, Vancouver could be shaking hands right now, having been swept themselves. Instead, they're up 3 games to 1. Nashville blew a third-period lead in Game 1, outshot Vancouver by a 3-1 margin, and somehow lost Game 3. And today, against the third-string goaltender, allowed a 2-goal lead to evaporate in the final 3 minutes. And they looked dead in the water going off the ice and coming onto the ice for overtime. That was one where you literally could have put, I don't know what the latest sponsor alignment we have, but whatever. You'd go to that app and you'd put everything you had on Vancouver winning in the first 3 minutes. Canucks, hey, they've been a resilient bunch under Rick Tocchet, but ultimately they're not going to be able to play like this and win any subsequent round in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That I can guarantee.
Rob, 71 shots on goal in their first 4 games, and they're up 3-1. It's crazy.
Well, it's funny. I was watching the first 2 periods of that game, and I turned it off. I didn't know if the Canucks would get 2 shots in the third period, let alone 2 goals. So I thought that game was over. I got a text. Someone said, wow. I had to check my app, and I'm like, oh, my goodness gracious. They tied the game up.
Asleep, Rob. Let's be honest. It was a
It was boring hockey. It was really boring hockey. And it's not the way we've seen the Canucks play. The Canucks have played better defensively this year under Tocchet, but the games against the Oilers, they had energy. They had good forechecking. They didn't sit back. It was like watching it. If LA and Vancouver played the way Vancouver's playing right now, it would be 0-0, 5th overtime. Both teams play boring hockey right now.
I watched an LA-Vancouver game in Winnipeg, and even Bob was about to nod off.
Yeah, that was bad. All right, guys. Rob, you're going to be joining Reed Wilkins during the end of the roll. Second intermission. Jack Michaels has got the call up next. The Oilers have hit the ice. We're live at Crypto.com Arena, and that wraps up Rogers game night. Jack will have the call. Game 4, Stanley Cup playoffs opening round. Oilers lead the series 2-1. David Riddick starting for LA against Stuart Skinner. Up next on 4 Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top-shelf finishes at no additional cost. Because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
Discover the epitome of elegance at Alberta Diamond Exchange, dedicated to crafting unforgettable moments with exquisite jewelry collections for over 2 decades. From stunning engagement rings to timeless wedding bands and anniversary treasures, the Alberta Diamond Exchange commitment extends far beyond I do. Your journey with Alberta Diamond Exchange is not just about jewelry. It's about an unparalleled experience. Check out the Aspen Glen Landing Boutique in Southwest Calgary. And for more information, head to avdiamond.ca today.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And performing the United States National Anthem this evening, please welcome LA-based a cappella group of Filipino Americans, the Philharmonic.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now, tonight's exclusive NHL broadcast.
Here he shoots and scores. Now it's Draisaitl off to Connor McDavid. Centers Kane for the hat trick. He scores.
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes.
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
Edmonton Oilers in position to do what they have been unable to do over the last 2 playoff campaigns against the Los Angeles Kings, and that's take a 3-1 series lead. This is Game 4 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, live from Crypto.com Arena, downtown Los Angeles. Another spectacular afternoon alongside Bob Stauffer. I'm Jack Michaels. Your opening draw will be taken by Connor McDavid between Zach Hyman and Adam Henrique. Defensively, Matthias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard, Stuart Skinner and Ned. Your starting lineups brought to you by Coventry Homes. And so for now, 6:30 Chat, the Oilers Radio Network and Radio Player Canada. The Game 4 puck drop is right now. McDavid wins the faceoff, and here's Evan Bouchard up the right-hand side. It's tossed in by Adam Henrique, and we're underway in Game 4 with the Oilers having pounded the Kings 6-1 in Game 3, and that was clubbed wide by Hyman as he entered the zone off a sloppy LA turnover, punched forward by Quentin Byfield. Your starting lineup brought to you by our friends at Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers, offering flexibility within reach, customizable designs courtesy of Coventry. Andrei Kopitar, the LA captain, crowding Edmonton in its own end. The Kings in the black, silver, and white. A drive by Anderson, left point, and a save made by Stuart Skinner, who got the win the other night with 27 saves. Edmonton 6, LA 1 on Friday in this building. For the Oilers, they're now 5-2 in Crypto.com Arena in the playoffs the last 3 years. Bouchard up to Leon Draisaitl. Two major reasons why. Here's Draisaitl flashing it out to Darnell Nurse. Shot left point wide of David Riddick in the LA net. Just his second postseason start in the Stanley Cup playoffs at age 31. Out of the Czech Republic, now in his 8th year playing in North America. Trevor Moore unable to guide it out. Battling forward is Draisaitl alongside Nugent Hopkins and Evander Kane, who had a Gordie Howe hat trick on Friday. Cleared out by Philip Deneau. Victor Arvidsson in from the right-hand side, cut off by Nurse. Wild cross-ice pass. No chance for Gavrikov to step up, and then it's slugged the length of the ice by Cody Ceci. Evander Kane joining Craig McTavish in 1986, and this one I wouldn't have any idea. Glenn Anderson in 1984, the only two postseason Gordie Howe hat tricks in the history of the Edmonton Oilers.
I'm sure Andy probably had a stick up as well at some point earlier in that game.
No doubt. That was against the Winnipeg Jets.
He knew how to protect himself back in the day.
One of the 6 series that Edmonton flattened Winnipeg on its way to the Stanley Cup final. Here's Roy, a shot, and that was tipped on net, and Skinner made the save. Roy, right point, working it down low for Trevor Lewis. A subtle change on the third line for Los Angeles. Lewis and Lazat moving up with Kevin Fiala, who's got the puck in the right circle out to Gavrikov. High slot shot, and that was batted down before it ever reached Skinner. Now Roy takes a shot wide on the glove side against Skinner. Gavrikov, left corner. Lazat tracked by Draisaitl, looking to clear. Evander Kane does exactly that up the right-hand side, and Roy will gather back in his own zone.
Good couple shifts for LA to start, though, Jack.
Edmonton in the white, orange and blue trim. A steal, Ryan McLeod. 3-on-2 in the offensive zone. Corey Perry, hard drive, drag move, save made. David Riddick. Perry tried to punch it over to Warren Fogle. That could have been a mammoth moment in this game for Corey Perry against his longtime antagonist, the LA Kings. Here's a steal by Ryan McLeod in the left corner, protecting the puck on the half wall. Kulak, a shot taken and blocked against Vinny Desharnais by Carl Grundstrom. But Desharnais has enough speed to wheel back, and though he took a shot from Grundstrom, he made the play up to Kulak, and the puck cleared from in front of the Oiler bench to the LA blue line. Kopitar in transition, slap shot, well wide of its intended target. Picked up by Adrian Kempe, whose 4-game goal streak and 8-game point streak against Edmonton in the postseason came to an end Friday night. Puck worked out a play on the far side. We played 3 minutes. There's no score in the hockey game. This is Game 4 of a best-of-7 first-round series. Edmonton a 7-4 victory in Game 1, a 5-4 overtime loss in Game 2, and a resounding 6-1 pummeling of LA on Friday.
Let's face it, the Kings are lucky. It's not 3-0 right now in this series. Edmonton's outshot them in every game. Kings had a good start in Game 2. Edmonton battled back. Kings got the overtime winner.
First goal over the 16 games of this postseason trilogy, Bob. The winner 14 times has gotten that first goal. Here's McDavid and Hyman. They're offside, left to right, off the draw. So if you get the first goal against the 1-3-1, you're in command. And the Oilers looking for it and continuing that trend again, where you get the first goal head-to-head in this matchup, you win 14 out of 16.
Well, usually in a boxing trilogy, there's a split in one of the first 2, and the Oilers are hoping for the sweep in all 3.
Kopitar digging in, wins a face-off against Connor McDavid. The one that comes to mind that would not meet that criteria, I believe Sugar Ray Robinson beat Bobo Olsen 3 times. Up the left-hand side. There's Anjay Kopitar back in his own zone. He'll move it to Drew Doughty. He waits and fires one up the gut for Kopitar. The drop pass, and then it's given back to Kopitar back behind the net. Bouchard able to wheel it up the right-hand side for Connor McDavid. Building speed left to right over the blue line, and then checked off the puck by Mikey Anderson. Played that well. Doughty bumped hard into the boards. Byfield did not get it out. Bouchard had it whacked out of midair, and Hyman unable to maintain the zone, but he did nudge it back to Bouchard, who's got the puck on his stick, checked by Byfield, put it down low for Derek Ryan, making his first appearance of the series, and set up a one-timer that was ripped into the pads of David Riddick by Dylan Holloway. But Derek Ryan looks excited to be in there for the 42nd time in a Stanley Cup playoff game.
That was a great look for Holloway, who no longer dusts puck off. Jack, he's letting her go.
But a good feed by Ryan.
Excellent look from Derek.
Derek Ryan, did he not get the shootout winner in this building earlier this year? December the 30th.
Yes.
In the 4th round. So he's got some positive and recent vibes in this building. Again, Edmonton has won 10 of its last 14 in this building, if you include the regular season alongside playoffs. Nugent Hopkins wins the draw. Draisaitl, though, stripped by Gavrikov, and it's chipped in by Arvidsson. Trevor Moore, after the puck for the LA Kings, slid in front, and that's going to be squeezed by Stuart Skinner with 4 1/2 gone by in the first period. Jim Hiller not making any lineup substitutions outside of his goaltender, David Riddick. Again, just the one playoff start for the Nashville Predators 3 years ago, and it did not go well. He gave up 5 goals in 15 minutes and was on the bench before the end of the first period. Draisaitl face off against Philip Deneau. And off the draw, working his way inside the circle was Nugent Hopkins to advance as far as the LA blue line. Pumped back in by Roy. Nurse taken against the board, shrugged off the check. Draisaitl took a hit to make a play up to Evander Kane, losing the puck. Nugent Hopkins at the LA blue line. Kings work it through the neutral zone. Arvidsson off to Philip Deneau. Squeezed off his stick by Draisaitl. And now Darnell Nurse for Edmonton locates Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the half wall for a clear off the plexi. And here comes Edmonton. All of a sudden, 3-on-2. Evander Kane, a shot, save Riddick. And the rebound, Cody Ceci couldn't get there. Interfered with by Gavrikov. Now you've got Draisaitl protecting on his backhand side. Threw it out to Vinny Desharnais between circles. Then to Draisaitl. Flashed it over to Cody Ceci, looking, shooting, and that was deflected. Draisaitl points in his last 12 against LA. 12 goals, 11 assists, last 12 playoff games against Los Angeles. That's pretty good. Dump in by LA. Vinny Desharnais will clear back to center. Shot in by Trevor Lewis, playing his 103rd playoff game. Brett Kulak up the right-hand side for Vinny Desharnais. Now Derek Ryan just missed Dylan Holloway. Jordan Spence after it for LA. Ridden hard against the boards. Coming out of the fray with control of the puck, LA's Kevin Fiala. And Andreas England was able to swing it as far as center ice. England chopped down by Evander Kane the other night. Here's Kevin Fiala in from the left-hand side. England will guide it down low for Blake Lizotte in the corner. Here's a drive by Fiala that's deflected out of play. We played just over 6 minutes in this scoreless first period. LA has outshot Edmonton 4-3, but no damage inflicted on either side. This is Game 4 of the Stanley Cup playoffs at Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, live from Crypto.com Arena, the Oilers Radio Network.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit Rogers.com/5G. That's Rogers.com/5G.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian, ultra
Ultra, XL, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes Olive Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
No score in the hockey game, 13:50 remaining. First period, Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth in Los Angeles. Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of no interest, no payments for 1 year. And the 50-50 jackpot right now sitting at $925,000. You got plenty of time for those early bird prizes tonight. A signed Zach Hyman jersey and $15,000 cash. Got about an hour. Get on it. Off the draw to the right of Stuart Skinner. That's tugged back through center and grabbed on two bounces by Matt Roy of LA, and then spilled into the Oiler bench by Pierre-Luc Dubois. That flew over a couple of Oiler heads and was fielded by equipment manager Jeff Lang. 13:35 to go in the first period. No score in Game 4. Edmonton leading the best-of-7 series 2-1. And as my partner commented before we went on the air, this has a chance, if LA should win, to be the only series tied at 2. Now, Dallas will have that opportunity tomorrow night, but the other series rather lopsided, including the Rangers polishing off the Capitals 4 straight to become the first team to advance to the second round. Off the draw, the Oilers funnel it into the offensive zone. McLeod to Desharnais. His shot sails wide. Perry sets a screen, and coming out of the corner is Warren Foegele. Waiting and dishing for Desharnais. His shot tipped high in the air. That's going to be tracked by Pierre-Luc Dubois, who's hit hard by Foegele. Advanced through to Carl Grundstrom, who after playing just one shift in Game 2, got all of 4 minutes and 52 seconds in Game 3. And he's on the puck in the offensive zone left wing. Tried to center, and that was smacked down by Corey Perry, playing his 199th playoff game tonight. Kempe to Drew Doughty, right wing for the Kings. Swooping and tried to flick it over to Anze Kopitar. That was deflected. Batted down by Anderson. Shot from a point. Saved by Skinner. Rebound scooped up by McLeod and lifted out of the zone by Warren Foegele. Gathered by Anderson at center for LA and moves swiftly ahead for Anze Kopitar. Left wing offensive zone. Gets it back from Anderson. Anderson will wind it around for Adrian Kempe. Short side and a save made on Quentin Byfield by Stuart Skinner, who never left his post, and Adam Henrique will bring it back through center ice. Well defended by Anderson at the LA line. Kopitar at center, picked up by Kempe, and now Anderson punched through to Byfield. A shot off the rush by Kopitar, and a blocker save made by Skinner. Rebound to Adam Henrique, trapped in the corner by Byfield and Kopitar. Dug out, and here's Ekholm carving it up the left-hand boards. Hyman, spinning move by McDavid, hits the trailer. Bouchard does not pull the trigger. Nudges it back to Ekholm. Back down low for McDavid, the league's leading scorer in the postseason. He was dumped to the ice, and Trevor Moore will carry it out to center. Bouncing puck corralled by Nugent-Hopkins. Laid ahead for Hyman, right wing. He was belted by Gavrikov. That was a hard check. Hyman is solid, though, and looks none the worse for wear, but I think that one bit him.
Well, they got to start hitting back. LA's been the more physical team so far, Jack.
Off a dump in, Gavrikov to Deneau. The outlet for Matt Roy will take it over the line. Drop pass, Moore, a shot, save Skinner. Rebound tipped away from Arvidsson by Cody Ceci. Deneau unable to make a play on it, and here comes Evander Kane driving down the right-hand side. Through a check from Gavrikov. Center pass, one-timer, and Nurse did not get much on it. Flipped it wide, and you've got Deneau clearing for Arvidsson. Back pass for Gavrikov. Now Arvidsson into the zone. One-timer showing, not taken by Fiala. Out of the reach of Gavrikov. He'll snap it around the boards. Fiala was waiting for it, but Draisaitl read it, intercepted the puck, and got it ahead for Evander Kane. Fiala lost the handle, drifts out to center, carried back in by Jordan Spence. Lizotte to Fiala, and the shot was denied by Skinner from distance. Rebound cleared by Kane, too far for Dylan Holloway. Ultimately picked up by Jordan Spence. A fast pace here in Game 4. Little spinorama by Dylan Holloway. Stood up by England at the LA blue line with 10:20 to play in the scoreless first period. Janmark forechecking. Spence tried to reverse up to Fiala. Janmark punched it free for Vinny Desharnais. Tried to poke it toward the net, but instead Fiala grabs it. He's through center. He's over the line and then dropped it to no one. Brett Kulak had it and pushed it ahead for Holloway. He'll shoot it in. After it, Janmark to negate icing. Derek Ryan on the puck right corner, crunched by Pierre-Luc Dubois, who was thrown around by Evan Bouchard in Game 3. Tossed out by Trevor Lewis, and it's Kulak. He was smoked against the boards. An aggressive forecheck by Grundstrom, and then following up was Dubois. Grundstrom, left circle offensive zone, out of the reach of Dubois. Corey Perry for the Oilers angles a puck up to Ryan McLeod. The LA Kings have been credited with 15 hits in the first 10 and a half minutes. Perry thunders into Mikey Anderson as he clears. Rolled back to the LA line, and Anderson put it up the wall. Fogle knocked it down. Crowd sensing an opportunity for LA to strike first. LaFerriere breaks loose, left wing, chopped at by Bouchard, and then he's punished against the boards, and Matthias Ekholm comes away with a loose puck. Up the right-hand side, Ryan McLeod. He was squeezed off by Anderson. The puck fritters loose and taken by Kopitar. He'll get it back from Doughty, and it's a reset for LA right to left. 9 minutes to go in the first period. There's no score in the hockey game. Adam Henrique checked by Kopitar. Loose puck behind the net. Kopitar, pressure from McDavid, who checked Byfield. Kopitar will backhand it around for Gavrikov, left half boards. He absorbs a check. Boy, it's been hard hitting in Game 4. Adam Henrique up the middle. McDavid is flying. Could not get around Adrian Kempe. Pretty good defense that time from LA, and lifted out by Gavrikov. Right side to no. Darnell Nurse was there to protect his blue line, and he'll leave it for McDavid. Shovels it across to Cody Ceci. McDavid and Draisaitl enter tonight tied for second among the all-time scorers in postseason history in terms of points per game. The only one better is Wayne Gretzky. Here's a play up the middle for Victor Arvidsson as LA comes the other way right to left. Trevor Moore. He collides with Darnell Nurse. You got a four-player scrum in the corner. Nugent Hopkins erases Arvidsson. Bounces back up and whips it around the boards for Mikey Anderson. Checked by Hyman. And then the two Kings collide. Anderson 44 and Arvidsson 33. Here's Leon Draisaitl. Bringing it through the middle. Dishing off. Nurse fires it off the side of the net. Riddick was over there on the far post. Draisaitl from one knee. Tried to center. Intercepted by Anderson. 7.5 to go in the first period. Pulsating playoff hockey tonight at Crypto.com Arena. The Kings and the Oilers looking to break through. LA has outshot Edmonton 9-4, the bulk of which have come from the perimeter. The hits 17-9 in favor of the Kings. Kevin Fiala off a dump in. His centering pass off of Kane's stick and retrieved by Drew Doughty, who had a rough Game 3. Doughty calling for the puck, receives from England, and now looks up ice. Backhands it over, and there's Fiala, rink wide to Trevor Lewis, left wing, drop pass. Here's Lizotte, couldn't get a shot away against Derek Ryan. Tried to power through a check, and then Kulak came over. Out to England, left point, blast, redirected wide. Short side, Fiala, soccered it in front. Still loose, and Skinner's got it with 6:50 to play in the first period. This is why you listen to and watch Stanley Cup playoff hockey whenever you have the opportunity. 18,000 people on its feet. Crypto.com Arena, downtown Los Angeles. Back and forth we go. No damage. Either side. Edmonton, LA, locked up in a scoreless tie. This is Game 4 of the playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a one-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Frenetic atmosphere inside Crypto.com Arena, where last night the LA Lakers remained alive in their series with the defending NBA World Champion Denver Nuggets. Tonight isn't an elimination game, but boy, if LA drops it, it's sure going to feel like one. Edmonton up 2-1, Game 5 scheduled for Wednesday night at Rogers Place. No time announced as of yet. I've got Bob watching. Off the draw, Kopitar. Off the right-hand side, Hyman hit hard. The puck shaken free out towards center. Edmonton in the white, LA in the black, and here's Hyman left to right. Over the line, deep in the right circle. Change of pace on Anderson. Swooping, shooting, and that was fought off by Riddick. Hyman tied for the league lead in goals with 6 in the first 3 games of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Here's Bouchard looking for Hyman. That's out of his reach. Hyman's the 4th guy since 1987 to do that, 6 in 3 games. He was just hammered by Doughty. And the puck shaken free up the right-hand side for Adrian Kempe. And LA's come to play tonight. Kempe's shot was blocked. Doughty flipped it down low for Anderson. Kopitar will angle one off the boards for Adrian Kempe, who's been tough on Edmonton over the years. It's Kopitar to Anderson. Drew Doughty left circle surveying the situation. He's got goals in back-to-back games. Pierre-Luc Dubois, the shot blocked. Doughty fires it, and no chance for Dubois to field that pass. It was a rocket, and now Doughty will change. He was the only man to beat Stuart Skinner in Game 3 Friday night.
Oilers got to start hitting back, Jack.
LaFerriere in from the right-hand side. Launched off the corner boards. Dubois tried to twist it back to the point. Ultimately picked up. LaFerriere tripped up. Dubois on it. Guides it back. Gavrikov a drive. And that's wide of Stuart Skinner. Rebound. Warren Fogle. Puck dislodged. LaFerriere tried to put it down low. Pierre-Luc Dubois has the puck. LaFerriere shoots off the back blocker of Stuart Skinner. The rebound taken by Grunstrom. He tried to stuff it inside. Intercepted. Cleared to Fogle by Corey Perry, and the puck will be iced. Fogle didn't need to do that. It's a bit of an unforced error, and with 4:59 to go in the first, we've got no score in LA, awaiting an offensive zone draw against a somewhat fatigued Edmonton unit.
Well, Fogle, you got to take a hit to make a play.
Yeah, that's one where just look up, take a few strides, know you're going to get popped.
And look, they've come out hitting. The Oilers are the meat right now, and they're going after Edmonton physically.
Oilers 19-3 when leading 2-1 in a best-of-7 series historically in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Andreas Englund off the draw, shoots wide, rebound picked up by Arvidsson, but he missed Philip Deneau, and that's carried up ice by Warren Fogle, and Edmonton will get that change as Fogle this time hits the red line and dumps it in. Drew Doughty, the tireless one, 2nd in the league in ice time this year, but he turned it over, and here's Draisaitl. It's a breakaway, a shot to save made by Riddick. Rebound, Nugent Hopkins. He's got Kane in the slot. Gives it up. Vinny Desharnais. His shot slid wide. Riddick can't reach behind and grab it. Draisaitl rolls out front. Surveys. Keeps, protects, backhands it toward the net. Nugent Hopkins after it. He's crunched in the corner by Philip Deneau. Coming up on 4 minutes to play in the first period. 0-0. Draisaitl fires wide. Rebound Riddick. He'll serve it up to the corner. Kane back to Draisaitl. Wrist shot deflected high in the air. No one can find it. Evander Kane does. Put it behind the net for Nugent Hopkins. Oilers roll over their defense. Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl, and Kane stay out there. Deneau is able to extract a loose puck, but he misses Trevor Moore, and it's slapped back in by Kulak. Now the Oilers will change the forward line as LA on a reset. Andreas Englund over to Drew Doughty. And the way LA has played with pace, Bob, I don't think they want to fall back. Deneau and Evander Kane. Here's a turnover by Fiala. McDavid on his backhand. Behind the net, protecting, ditching. One-timer at Coleman. It was partially blocked. Here's Fiala. But LA slowing the pace there. I don't think that helps the Kings. They've been very good in this first period, playing at a quicker pace. Trevor Lewis will dump it behind the Edmonton defense. And I feel like they've caught the Oilers a bit off guard with their relentlessness on the forecheck. As you stated earlier, a bit more aggression. Here's Bouchard. Up through center. McDavid hits the line, waits, and then got popped. Puck loose. Gavrikov will slide it over to Matt Roy, and Edmonton wants another change with less than 3 minutes to play in this first period. Kopitar to Matt Roy in the LA zone. Punched forward by Kempe, taken by Nurse, and shot up the boards. Taken in front of the LA bench by Roy. Over to Anderson on the left-hand side. Nudged in by Kempe. Nurse will reverse to Ceci. Corey Perry off to Ryan McLeod. A lateral maneuver to Warren Fogle. In over the line. Backs his way in onside and then throws it into no man's land. Byfield will leave it for Drew Doughty. Mikey Anderson up through center. He'll chip it softly into the corner. Back to get it Bouchard. Takes the hit to move it up for Zach Hyman. Shots are 10-4 LA thus far in the scoreless first period. Here's Hyman. Ridden against the end boards by Anderson. Doughty up the right-hand side for Grunstrom. Off to Pierre-Luc Dubois. He's had a tough first season in LA. Leaves it for Anderson. His shot whistled out of play as McDavid got his stick in the lane with 1:50 remaining in this first period. We'll take one more timeout and come back with the remaining time allotted in this first period at Crypto.com Arena. Game 4 remains 0-0 with Edmonton leading the best of 7, 2-1. This is Four Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Raucous atmosphere tonight in Game 4 of the Stanley Cup playoffs from Los Angeles. Bob and I appreciate you hanging around. I know it's a late starting time back in Edmonton in that Mountain Time Zone. But hey, we got a good one. No score. Minute 50 to go, first period. And a face-off to the right of Stuart Skinner off the draw, won by Kopitar. Here's Gavrikov for the LA Kings. Kopitar put it behind the net. Adrian Kempe checked by Ceci. Gavrikov's shot does not make it through. Byfield put it around the boards. Nugent Hopkins comes over. A second effort. Didn't get it out. A third chance to get it out. No. Byfield, relentless, frees it up for Kopitar, right corner. Minute 25 to go in the period. Shot Roy, save Skinner. His 11th of this first period. The Oilers have just 4 shots in 18.5 minutes with a chance to gain a stranglehold in this series. Going up 3-1 with a victory, but thus far, Bob, I give LA credit. They have tactically changed their game
More
to some
aggressive.
degree.
Well, I mean, if I was coaching against Edmonton, I'd sell out in the forecheck and take my chances that way. And the Oilers have had a couple defensemen that have fought it a little bit. Darnay's had some tough moments. LA's pounded Edmonton out of the gates, and I think the Oilers have been a little bit surprised.
And of course, if you're an Edmonton partisan, you'd love to test David Riddick a little bit. He hasn't played at all in 2 weeks, hasn't played a playoff team in 6 weeks. And he lost that last game against Dallas. Philip Deneau off the draw, was cleared by Edmonton deep into the LA zone. Doughty will leave it for Deneau, weaving his way through the neutral zone. Around Enrique. McDavid tracking Trevor Moore down the right-hand side of the offensive zone and takes it away with a minute to go in the period. Deneau watches as Moore snatches it back. Arvidsson looking for a lane, shoots into the glove of Skinner. That puck may have been heading wide with 51 seconds to go in the first.
Right now, Edmonton's got to get out of this period scoreless, get in the room, get recalibrated. They've had a poor first period. They've been knocked around with the hits. They're saying the hits are 23-14. Now, the shots are 12-4, but Edmonton's had 3 or 4 real good looks here, Jack.
I was going to say, Bob, I mean, I think this is a game where you do have to give the other team some credit here. I don't know whether the Oilers have been poor, but LA has been much better.
Edmonton has to match the EQ.
That I would say. Off the face-off, here's Kane and McDavid crisscrossing. So a little bit of a different look here as Evander Kane down low in the corner. Trevor Lewis able to slug it back to center. Desharnais crowding Trevor Moore, but Deneau follows it up, backhands it ahead, and what a play. A steal by McDavid out there with Draisaitl and Kane. It was Draisaitl with a steal, receives a pass from Desharnais right corner, then locates Brett Kulak. Slap shot, disappears into a crowd. McDavid tried to go backdoor to Draisaitl, and that was tipped. 15 seconds to go. Chris Knobloch changing it up. Here's McDavid, backdoor open, and then juggled by Kulak. If he fields it cleanly, it's 1-0 Edmonton. Fires it across. Draisaitl, top of the left circle. 4 seconds to go. He's ridden back behind the net, then centered in LA, able to pick it off and get out of it. But Chris Knobloch with a little bit of a wrinkle, and we told you to expect that occasionally with the lineup he's dressed tonight. And he goes Kane, McDavid, and Draisaitl in the final minute. And the Oilers, for the first time in a while, Bob, were able to get the cycle going, and Brett Kulak's bobble probably cost the Oilers an opportunity to bang home the game's first goal.
Well, what did LA do besides hit? They stayed out of the penalty box in that opening period, and that was a big difference for them. They did carry the territorial play. They were the more assertive team, and the Oilers had a couple defensemen with some puck bobbles where they had some opportunities to make some play. That said, some good looks. Holloway had a great chance. Corey Perry had a wonderful net drive that nearly resulted in a goal. And I'd say for Edmonton, that's just part of the process of you're a veteran team. You're playing against the Kings team that, you know, they're playing for their lives, and they brought it in that period.
LA out shooting Edmonton 11-4, but Stuart Skinner, solid as he was in Game 3, keeps it a scoreless tie through the opening 20 minutes of play. Edmonton, Los Angeles, Game 4, this best-of-7 first-round series. The Oilers getting a good look late, but ultimately unable to capitalize. We have Corey Perry ringside. Corey, how are you? Sorry, we didn't know you were there. But appreciate your patience. And speaking of patience, you get out of that first period at a scoreless tie. Couple of chances early, and then how did you see that opening 20?
Yeah, we had a few chances, and then one right at the end. We knew they were going to come and push. We got to get back to our game, getting that puck in deep, and creating that grind game, and that's been successful for us.
A little bit of a switch of a forecheck for the Kings, much more aggressive, playing with greater desperation, Corey.
I think so. We knew that they were going to come out hard. Being down 2-1 in their building, you knew that they're going to have a push. So we weathered the storm, tied after one, and away we go.
199 playoff games. It never gets old, does it?
It doesn't. This is the best time of year to be playing.
Thanks, Corey.
All right, take care.
That's Corey Perry in the aftermath of that scoreless opening 20 minutes, and he was very matter of fact. I think, he recognizes, look, we'd be silly to think LA was going to just roll over and die, and he would know better than most, having engaged in some real wars with the LA Kings.
I would assert to you that he's probably the least flustered of all the Oilers players. Yeah. He's got the most.
He's seen everything.
He's seen everything. He's been on teams that were favorite, teams that were, supposed to pull off upsets, or on the verge of pulling off upsets. He's had every possible realm of playoff experience during the course of his NHL career. Interesting little, right at the end there, putting Draisaitl out there with McDavid. And, Brett Kulak had an open net and just couldn't pick the puck up cleanly.
It's probably 1-0 if he does.
I think Darnay's got to settle down a bit. I'd like to see Darnell Nurse had a couple chances as well, and he was calling for pucks. You call for it, you got to finish those off. So Edmonton, Jack, by my count, had 4 more A-grade opportunities. They say they only got 4 shots on goal. They didn't hit the net on 4 other point-blank opportunities. A good chance for Holloway. And for the Kings, they directed a lot on goal. Maybe one really good save from Stuart Skinner.
I was going to say, Skinner was solid, but it didn't have to be spectacular. Officially now, the Kings credit with just 10 first-period shots, and we conclude the opening 20 minutes in a scoreless tie. On deck, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown. This is our live coverage from Crypto.com Arena, the Stanley Cup playoffs at Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit KeplerAcademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming a 630 CHED Insider. Don't miss out on a single moment.
Sign up now at 630ched.com
and click on CHED Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 630 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
Where Edmonton stays informed and entertained.
Today and every day. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Drew Doughty, the tireless one, second in the league in ice time this year, but he turned it over, and here's Draisaitl. It's a breakaway, a shot to save made by Riddick.
Yeah, quick chance for Draisaitl there on a partial break, turned away by David Riddick. No goals in the first period. Oilers and Kings game 4. That was your look into the highlight zone presented by Century Casinos. All in, all games, all Century Casinos, 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winner's Zone. Along with Rob Brown, I'm Reed Wilkins at the intermission for End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. Well, Rob, thought it was a entertaining period. I thought, LA came out very desperate, yet the Oilers had a couple golden opportunities they couldn't convert.
They did, and I thought this was the best I've seen LA play. I know they had a good first where they had the 3-1 lead, but they came out with more desperation tonight and more physical. This is the way the LA Kings have to play against Edmonton. You have to be aggressive on the forecheck. They didn't sit back, and we saw how they created opportunities in the offensive zone. Having said that, the best scoring chances in the period were by the Oilers. They're the more skilled team. They can make the more skilled plays. And it would have been really a hard way to finish the period for the LA Kings if Kulak would have scored there. You know, LA came out, they threw everything they had at the Oilers. They were physical. Some of the biggest hits in that period were the LA Kings, and they played almost a perfect period. And then in the last minute, they made one mistake. Gavrikov loses the puck to McDavid, and all of a sudden Kulak has a wide open net. If that goes in, all of a sudden LA's in the dressing room going, oh my goodness gracious, that's as good as we can play, and we're down. So a big break for the LA Kings. Unfortunate for the Oilers. But the Oilers, I do believe, weathered the storm well. They bent a few times, but they didn't break. They didn't give up the grade A scoring chances. Everything were to the outside, and they absorbed the physicality that LA threw at them. So you know it as well as I do when we watch these games. If one team controls the player, has a bunch of shots, and don't get the goal, and they don't get rewarded in that period, the opposition comes back in the second period, and it's almost like the first shot they get goes in. So look for the Oilers to be much better offensively, creating more and getting more opportunities on a goaltender that really hasn't played in a while.
And the Oilers went with Kane, McDavid, and Draisaitl as a line for that last shift, Rob, when Kulak had that chance. And I thought Kane was noticeable again. About 5 minutes in, had that hard shot down the left wing, powered through a check along the boards. About 4 minutes later, went after Doughty when they were trying to change lines, and then obviously was on that final shift with McDavid and Draisaitl. So hopefully the continuation of hopefully we'll see Evander Kane continue to be noisy the rest of the game.
Well, he's more effective when he's noisy. And what I like about the noise he's making in these playoffs is he's doing it without taking the silly penalties. He's not taking himself off of the ice and putting his teammates into a penalty-killing situation. He's been physical when he's had to. He's turned his other cheek when he's had to. And he's creating scoring chances for himself and his line mates. So Kane was very good in that period. Probably a little unfortunate that there wasn't a goal scored for the Oilers when he was on the ice. I think what we saw around the playoffs today, teams that look like they were dead and out have come back. Today and last night, Dallas all of a sudden wins. The Islanders win a game. Teams like that where all of a sudden, or the Tampa Bay Lightning wins. So in a game, I don't think you can expect anything less than what the LA Kings gave in that first period. These are all playoff hockey clubs. They're all capable of winning, and I thought that was a good effort by the LA Kings. I would expect the Edmonton Oilers to have a little more energy here in the second period.
Do you think that we also saw a shift, Rob, where McDavid went out centering the fourth line. So, an opportunity to try to give him a little bit of extra ice time. And then he and Draisaitl are often together out of a penalty kill. Do you think Knoblauch's going to try to mix in, McDavid and Draisaitl? I know they play a lot anyway, but even a little more often tonight?
I think so. LA gets last change. So they are matching up Danault and Kopitar versus Leon and Connor in the top two defensive pairings. So every once in a while, if Connor and or Leon goes out with the fourth line, especially during a line change in the middle of a shift, they can get out there with a mismatch. They can get out against the fourth line of the forwards of the LA Kings, but more importantly, they can get out there against the third pairing of the LA Kings. It's a big drop-off from top four to bottom two for the LA Kings. So if you get Connor McDavid out against Englund or Spence, even if it's 2 or 3 shifts a game, that's a mismatch. That's something the LA Kings don't want. So I think if you see it, you'll see a lot mid-shift where the LA Kings aren't able to match off a face-off, and they can get Connor out there and hopefully take advantage of some line mismatches.
No scoring in the first period. Kings out shooting the Oilers 10-4. It is game 4 of this series. We'll check the out-of-town scoreboard when we get back. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit rogers.com/5G. That's rogers.com/5G.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. An early morning fire in North Edmonton left one person in hospital and a home badly damaged. The call came in just after 4 a.m. with crews arriving at the scene near 121st Street and 150th Avenue 4 minutes later. Edmonton Fire Rescue says the family had self-evacuated along with their dog, with the person taken to hospital suffering from smoke inhalation. The fire had started in the living room of the home, but there's no word on the cause. The search continues for an inmate who disappeared from a minimum security facility in Edmonton last night. 31-year-old Eugenia Herman had been serving a 2-year sentence for weapons, assault, and property crime offenses. She stands 5'4" with a medium complexion and has several tattoos, including a red and black leopard on her neck. And after issuing an arrest warrant yesterday, RCMP say 20-year-old Siksika Nation resident David Bruce Drunkenchief has been located and arrested on a charge of second-degree murder, along with another man in the death of 59-year-old Siksika Nation resident Clayton Redgun. News on demand at 630ched.com.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Think you can't go back to school because you have a family or a full-time job? Yes, you can. Northern Lakes College provides a supported distance learning environment, offering a guided learning setting that supports you to succeed and provides the flexibility to suit your lifestyle. Explore programs in academic upgrading, business, health, human services, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of courses available through continuing education. The education you want, the flexibility you deserve. NorthernLakesCollege.ca.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Cole holds into the point, dumps it behind the net for Elias Lindholm. Lindholm to the right corner, banks it back to the line. Ian Cole, left point. Quinn Hughes, long shot, missed high and wide of the target, and Cole holds in right point again. Zadorov behind the net for Garland. Lindholm scores! Elias Lindholm wins it for the Canucks. 102 into overtime. He beats UC Soros from the slot, and Vancouver has a stranglehold on this series. They lead it 3-1, and they win it in Nashville 4-3.
Bachelor with the call from the Canucks Radio Network. Just a shocking win by the Canucks today. They were down 3-1. Besser scored at 17:11 of the third period to make it 3-2. Then he scored at 19:52 to tie it and Lindholm scoring in overtime. 4-3 Canucks take it. They lead the series 3-1 as we update the scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Meanwhile, the Rangers finish off the Capitals, so that's a 4-game sweep. Rangers winning it 4-2 today, and the Avalanche winning at home 5-1 against the Winnipeg Jets. So the Avs are up 3-1 in that best of 7. All right, no scoring in the first period between the Oilers and the Kings. Jack and Bob coming up with the second period. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm proud to call myself an Albertan. You know, after years of touring this great province in my Ford F-150, I've learned the value of driving a tough, capable, smart truck. Whether you're working for the weekend or long-hauling it like I am, there's an F-150 for every Albertan, with plenty of options to choose from, like available Pro Power on board. So if you're looking for a new truck, stop by your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready. Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. We freaking killed it, Nuge. That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah. Well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Tonight's Oilers playoff jackpot approaching $1 million. You've got another 20 minutes for our first early bird prize. That's a signed Zach Hyman jersey, and another 50 minutes for $15,000 cash. 50-50 jackpot. This round celebrating and supporting Kids with Cancer Society, Ben Stelter Foundation, and Alberta Cancer Foundation. McDavid, as we have the drop of the puck for the second period, loses the face-off to Anze Kopitar. McDavid starts with Henrique and Hyman, Ekholm and Bouchard defensively, and the Oilers bottled up briefly off an LA dump-in. As Bob mentioned, 23 first-period hits for the Kings, who are 6-12 all-time in a best-of-7 series when they trail 2-1. Edmonton's 9-0 when they lead 2-1 with home ice advantage in the series. This puck guided up to Adam Henrique, but he did not get a puck touch on it, and it turns into an icing call a half minute into this second period. No score in the hockey game. The shots were 10-4 Los Angeles in the opening 20.
Well, that said, they have to do it the hard way, Jack, when they had the 2-1 lead against both San Jose and against LA.
Well, they were down 3-0. You and I were in a different broadcast location.
Yep.
But they were down 3-0 after the first period of Game 4, and there was real trouble on the horizon. Edmonton was able to battle its way back. Zach Hyman scored a dramatic OT winner, and the Oilers never looked back, winning Game 5 back on home ice and closing out the Kings on a game winner by Kyler Yamamoto in Game 6. Victor Arvidsson backhands it off to Trevor Moore in the offensive zone backdoor, and this time it was Gavrikov just out of his reach, glanced off the heel of his stick. So LA missing a chance on a backdoor play to a defenseman. A shot by Roy bounced off Ekholm and went right to Evan Bouchard. Ridden against the boards, Arvidsson tried to duck inside. Evander Kane was stood up as he exited the zone by Gavrikov, went flying off Kane, and then it was ridden back into the zone by Matt Roy. Reversed by Evan Bouchard, and the outlet from Henrique to Touched forward by Leon Draisaitl. David Riddick saw only 4 pucks come his way in the first. Lead pass off Trevor Lewis's stick. Rolling behind the net. Lewis waiting and then snapped it around the boards for England. Checked by Kane. Put back behind the net. Darnell Nurse bounced off his body. A shot sent wide by Lewis. And then he's out-muscled for the puck by Cody Ceci. Up the boards, and England failed to hold the zone. And then a dangerous cross-ice pass. And Draisaitl, you could see him reading that play. Couldn't quite get there in time. LA able to reload back in its own zone. England to Fiala. Mishandled the puck as he came over the line. Now grabs it. Blake Lizotte trying to work himself free. Kings need definitely more out of Fiala in this series, but Nurse able to disrupt on a pass intended for Fiala. And here comes Ryan McLeod for Edmonton. Change of pace. Button hooks and then is checked by the pesky Lizotte. Coming over is Mikey Anderson. A poised pass ahead for LaFerriere and down the left wing boards in front of his own bench. Poked free by Vinny Desharnais, and Warren Fogle keeps steady. And Edmonton on odd man rush here. 4-on-3. Fogle has shot off the rush and a save made by David Riddick. But that's a good shot by Fogle with Corey Perry playing his 200th NHL playoff game right there on the doorstep. And Riddick did well to control that rebound and keep it out of Perry's grasp.
Yeah, he shot right through the screen there with speed as Anderson was in a back pedal. Holloway going to take a draw here left side out with Derek Ryan and Matthias Janmark.
Ryan in the slot, pairing of Kulak and Desharnais, and Holloway lost the draw to Pierre-Luc Dubois. A bouncing puck sent up the boards and out to center. Grundstrom off to LaFerriere, trying to get around Derek Ryan. Forced to the corner by Vinny Desharnais. We also have not had a power play in this game. At even strength, LA has outscored Edmonton 11-9 in this series. On the power play, it's 7-0 Edmonton. Desharnais in from the right-hand side, and his shot deflected up and out of play. A face-off will take place to the left of David Riddick with 3 minutes gone in this second period. 23 minutes of scoreless hockey thus far. Game 4, this best-of-7 first-round series between Edmonton and Los Angeles.
Well, we should mention that, yes, LA's got one more goal at even strength at Edmonton in this series, but the Oilers are the team with the 54% expected goals for until the first period. It's the first time LA, I think, outplayed Edmonton 5-on-5. You can maybe argue in the first period of game 2.
But I'm taking away the empty net.
Right.
But again, it is, I mean, look, Edmonton in a 2-1 scenario, you know, I think the Oilers have earned that spot. Here's Connor McDavid racing in left-hand side. Hits the trailer. No, he didn't. Byfield with a great backtrack, reeling in Evan Bouchard and took that pass away. It appeared to be on target, and Byfield with a burst of speed caught Evan Bouchard.
He's a player.
Here's Adrian Kempe, jitterbugging his way into the zone, and a shot rocketed up and out of play. Bouchard stayed in the lane and deflected it harmlessly into the mesh. 3.5 gone by, second period, and still no score in the hockey game. This time the face-off to Skinner's right. That was a good look from McDavid, but a better read by Quentin Byfield.
Yeah, and I think the Oilers have been a little forceful trying to hit the deactivating. I'd like to see them just put some pucks.
Like Fogle did.
Load a stick side on the goaltender and make David Riddick work a little bit more here. Because Edmonton's had some chances that they haven't got shots on goal for.
Chased out was Deneau. Trevor Moore will take the draw against Leon Draisaitl, and off the face-off, we're going to do it again. Our referees tonight, Francois St. Laurent and John McIsaac. Linesmen Matt McPherson and James Tobias. And we'll do a redo of Moore and Draisaitl to Skinner's right-hand side. And Moore won the face-off this time. Drew Doughty quickly one-touched it over to Anderson. Each shot redirected up on the plexi. Pursued and corralled by Deneau, but then not held in by Doughty. And Evander Kane will race in on the forecheck to bother David Riddick. Up the left-hand side, it's Victor Arvidsson. Riddick all-time against the Oilers, a record of 5-5-1. Shut him out this year, but was beaten in his last game against Edmonton. That was at Rogers Place at the end of February. Gave up 4 goals on 31 shots. Big hit by Kane, and that one stung Doughty. And Doughty can barely get up. Drew Doughty has been hobbled. Evander Kane once again tattooing Drew Doughty. And that has been a recurring theme going back to the regular season where Kane was called for a penalty in that game we just talked about that Riddick started. Edmonton won it 4-1. Here's Trevor Lewis dumping it in, and that's covered by Stuart Skinner. I did not see Doughty go down the tunnel, but there's no question that Kane nailed him, and Doughty is laboring on the LA bench. 4 1/2 gone by in this second period, and still no score in the game as Skinner covers.
Chris Knobloch tried to get right away with Doughty going off. Tried to get McDavid on the ice for a quick shift, but now with the D-zone draw.
They're going Fogle with McLeod and Perry.
Third line against third line here.
Digging in is Trevor Lewis, and a clean face-off win for McLeod. Sent up ice by Kulak. They'll wave off icing. England put it up the boards. The fleet McLeod able to knock it down for Corey Perry. Beautiful pass. Fogle a shot. And that was blocked by Jordan Spence. Rebound powering through England. And that allows Perry to swing it around to Kulak. Now Desharnais with a wrist shot. Blocked in front by Blake Lizotte. Did a good job of fronting Corey Perry. Knocked it down and moved it up the right-hand side. The Kings are offside. 5 minutes gone by in the second period. I give a lot of credit. That Blake Lizotte, he makes some good plays, and that was another one for LA back in the other end.
We assume that Desharnais will be signed to a long-term extension, possibly as long as 6 or 7 years. One of the things that he's going to need to work on is puck skills, getting pucks through from a point. And they try to take the lower half of the net away.
Well, he's trying to put it on Perry's stick there.
Doughty is not out here with this.
With Anderson. Yeah, he's shaken up. I mean, he is still on the Kings bench, but he is shaking. Face-off win for Connor McDavid. So it's Roy, the partner of Mikey Anderson, floated down the middle. Riddick tries to play it out. Stolen by Bouchard. Beautiful look for McDavid. Grabbed it, floated it out to Enrique. One-timer Bouchard and a block shot in front. And that time it was McDavid unable to handle that pass cleanly for Bouchard. Kempe to Byfield. Wrist shot off the rush and a save made by Skinner. And the rebound flew off his right pad and into the fourth row on the far side of the playing surface. 14:38 to go in the second period. No score.
Puck's got to be in the net for Connor. This is what I mean.
That's some look by Bouchard.
It was a great look, and Doughty's back on the ice. By the way, Jack, I got to say it. I think the Oilers are having problems with the ice. It's hopping, it's bouncing a bit. Home ice advantage. Call it what you want. You're going to say, well, both teams play on it.
Well, the Lakers played on it yesterday.
Yes.
Here's Draisaitl winning the face-off, and that's lob by Darnell Nurse. A bouncing puck chopped in by Evander Kane. Riddick will leave it for Drew Doughty up the left-hand side. Arvidsson checked by Kane. Another hard hit in the corner. Anderson able to extract. With Drew Doughty apparently okay, here's Evander Kane. Trying to bank it in off Riddick. That clipped the side of the net, and Moore will try to clear the puck, but Draisaitl wouldn't let him. Stayed with it. Philip Deneau got it back, and then Nurse with a steal on a pass intended for Arvidsson, and that could have been trouble. Nurse made a good play up to Draisaitl, right wing. Button hooks, top of the circle, little spin move on Anderson, trying to use a screen from Kane, and that was very close to our first call of the game.
Five-man break here.
Here's L.A. Arvidsson, left wing to the net. Backhander, no. Forced wide by Kulak. Excellent backtrack, and the Kings really don't get a good shot out of that play. Now another turnover, and here's Kevin Fiala through the neutral zone and over the line. Waiting, feeding, open man, calling for the puck. Jordan Spence doesn't shoot. Spins on Derek Ryan instead. Heads for the net. Tried to drop it in front, and Nugent Hopkins with a steal on Pierre-Luc Dubois, who got that stick parallel. Nugent Hopkins will send it in. And now battling through a check is Derek Ryan. Fiala slipped down, and now will try to rake it out of the skates of Ryan. He does so, but Desharnais is there with a pinch. Right side to keep it beneath the goal line. Ryan shook off a check. Janmark rolled out on top. LaFerriere was hammered into the boards. A hard check by Janmark. And now coming over to Staple, his man is Dylan Holloway. He slashed it free. Jordan Spence put it up the boards. Fiala out into the slot. And there's Dubois with a clear up the left-hand side. Crowd wanted a call on the hit on on Matthias Janmark. A hard shot in the corner, and Janmark able to gather and shoot it back in for Edmonton. Riddick with a bobble, and now Holloway. A hard hit in the corner freed him from the puck, and that was Dubois who turned back to see who it was. Kempe with a shot. That's rocketed out of play by Matthias Ekholm, Kempe's countryman. 12:34 to play in the second period. We've got no score in Game 4 with Edmonton leading this best-of-7 first-round series 2-1. Back in a moment to Crypto.com Arena, downtown Los Angeles. Beautiful day, deep into the night, and no one's broken through. 0-0 in Game 4 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Not a ton of room, a couple of puck bottles, and after all that, 7.5 minutes, we've had 1 shot for either team. In fact, Edmonton has managed just 5 shots on net in nearly half a hockey game, 27.5 minutes. Face off to Skinner's left. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. A face-off win for Kopitar against Draisaitl to the left of Skinner. And then a sharp angle shot by Kopitar, hopped off Skinner, and right to Evander Kane with Nugent Hopkins in over the line, right to left. Nugent Hopkins didn't get a shot away, and the puck comes free to Adrian Kempe of the Kings. He'll chip and charge against Cody Ceci. Skinner will play it on Ceci's side. A sharp angle shot was kicked out by Skinner into the slot, and they'll wave off icing. Curiously enough, it's a break for Edmonton as LA back to collect the puck in its own zone. Gavrikov angles a pass up the boards to Blake Lizotte. He'll chip it in for Trevor Lewis. Edmonton beat LA 6-1 on Friday night to take a 2-1 series lead. Trying to put a hammerlock on this series and have an opportunity to eliminate LA on Wednesday. Fogle golfs it out of the zone. That game will be played at Rogers Place, still awaiting a time. Lizotte will feather one across to England. He'll scamper to the red line and shoot it in. Skinner to knock it down for Edmonton, guides it over to Desharnais. Hard up the boards, Fogle overran it, then got it back and flipped it to the middle where Jordan Spence was there to play it ahead for LA. Desharnais and Kulak defending their line. Trevor Lewis got it in deep. Desharnais plowed into by Fiala. Ryan McLeod with control of the puck for Edmonton, who's been out hit tonight 30-17 by the far more aggressive Kings. Shot in by McLeod. Around the boards, you've got England. He was trapped, gave it to Jordan Spence. A pass off the mark, glanced off the skate of Moore, and then he was plowed into by Adam Henrique. McDavid comes over to try to wrestle it free and does so for Henrique. Then he was wallpapered by England. McDavid to Ekholm, over to Bouchard, right point slap shot, and that was blocked up top. Right to Ekholm, wrist shot, and gloved by Riddick. Finding it through a screen established by Zach Hyman. And that was some good work. Did you see? Shaquille O'Neal did a pretty good Zach Hyman impression the other night on television, Bob, and in doing so made Henrik Lundqvist look like the kind of jockey we'll see next week at the Kentucky Derby. I've never seen Hank look so tiny.
There we go. Oilers, Jack, have averaged almost 39 shots on goal per game through the first 3 games. We're halfway through this game. 6 shots on goal.
That was the 6th by Ekholm. McDavid wins the faceoff. A blast by Bouchard is on net. A save. A big rebound. Loose in the slot. Kings are first on it. Deneau tugged it out of the pile. Shot by Ekholm, and that's snared by Riddick. That appeared to be headed wide from Ekholm, but Riddick's able to come up with the save, known as Big Save Dave. David Riddick, perhaps the turning moment in his career was the 1920 campaign when he beat the Oilers in a shootout at Rogers Place. He celebrated a little bit too enthusiastically, Bob, and his career has gone south ever since, but he had a good season this year as the number 2 man behind Talbot.
Very good. And, you know, he was signed to be the number 3 organizational goaltender, but they lost Phoenix Copley. Dylan Holloway has replaced Adam Henrique here for a few seconds on this shift.
Riddick on his 5th team in 4 years. Had 2 great years in Calgary, including the year the Flames won the division title in 2019. Here's Adrian Kempe in over the line. He broke his stick, and Ekholm wanted a penalty called on Kempe for touching that stick, or touching that puck briefly with a broken stick.
They're not going to call a penalty tonight, and if they don't call a penalty, that favors LA. Kings are 0-4 on the power play. Edmonton 7 for 14.
Here's Kopitar down the middle of the ice and shot up to McDavid by Bouchard, and the Oilers are off and warned. McDavid conservatively will chip it in deep. Doughty ridden into the boards, but got it up to Kempe, and now Kopitar has some open ice. Drop pass, great shot off the rush, save Anderson, and a second time on Anderson by Stuart Skinner. He's able to make both saves, one up near the right clavicle, and then he ate up the second one from Anderson off the rush. 9:48 to play in the second period. 30 minutes complete. Crypto.com Arena, Game 4 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we've settled nothing. Edmonton and LA 0-0 in Game 4 as the Oilers look to take a 3-1 series lead. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit KeplerAcademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The Brick and the Edmonton Oilers both started right here in Edmonton back in the 70s. And we know nothing is more exciting than playoff hockey. We're next to you in the stands, painted blue and orange, cheering our hearts out. And when we're not there, we're in our stores, making sure you have everything you need to cheer them on in your home. We're proud of this city and its rich sports history. The Brick, supporting the Edmonton Oilers and fans right from the beginning. Let's go, Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Shots 14-7 LA through 30 minutes of Game 4. No score on the board. Skinner and David Riddick are the goaltenders, and a face-off to Stuart Skinner's right-hand side. Pierre-Luc Dubois wins the draw for LA against Derek Ryan, and the Kings will work it around. Fiala, sharp angle shot, fought off, right shoulder save made by Skinner. Rebound, Fiala got it back from Spence, shoots wide, short side, rebound taken by Cody Ceci, and the Oilers will break out right to left. Ryan McLeod at center ice. He's got Derek Ryan staying on side, feeds Darnell Nurse, shot short side, save Riddick. Nurse comes up with his own rebound, right circle, drops it, lost briefly by McLeod, and then he's taken out by England, who had lost his stick. This will be the first power play of the hockey game, and it'll belong to Edmonton, holding the call against Andreas England. And Edmonton's vaunted power play, 7 of 14 in this series, and 23 of 48 over LA over the last last 3 years, nearly 50% will get a chance to break the scoreless tie. And this, the way the game is unfolded, Bob, seems like a seismic moment in this hockey game.
100%, because the Kings have been very good 5-on-5. Should mention Adam Henrique has gone off for Edmonton underneath the tunnel, and I think Janmark was a little shaken up there as well.
So the Oilers huddle up on the power play. They've scored in 9 straight playoff games against the LA Kings with a man advantage. Draisaitl lining up against Anze Kopitar. McDavid and Hyman stacked in the slot. Draisaitl won the draw. Puck pushed back to Bouchard by McDavid, who now has it deep right circle. One-timer, and Bouchard flubbed it. Kept alive by Draisaitl's quick stick over to Nugent Hopkins left point. Now Bouchard high slot. McDavid top of the right circle. Kempe and Kopitar up top. One-timer ripped by Bouchard. Rebound grabbed. Kempe feathered it down the left-hand side to open ice, and the Oilers have to drift back.
I like that Evans shot the puck, but he didn't get it through either time.
Atco power play, your trusted Alberta retailer. Oilers on rushing. Here's McDavid. Burst of speed over the line. Forced out wide. Threw it around the boards. That'll be picked up by Draisaitl, who has 2 power play goals in this series. Hyman 3. Draisaitl, top of the right circle. Surveys. McDavid coming off the goal line. Cuts to the middle. Watched by Moore. Now back to Draisaitl beneath the goal line. Angled off the boards to McDavid, right point. Halfway through the power play. McDavid cuts left. Swooping, dishing. Draisaitl, one-timer. Bouchard scores. And it's 1-0 Edmonton in Game 4.
Absolute bomb from Evan Bouchard. He got all of it. And the Oilers are 1-for-1 on the power play. He hammered that puck far to the blocker side of David Riddick. Draisaitl and McDavid will pick up the assists. It's 1-0 Edmonton.
Bouchard's first of the series, the 8th of his Stanley Cup playoff career. And the Oilers have scored for the 8th time on the power play in this series, and Connor McDavid has had a point on all 8. Edmonton 1, LA no score, and we talked about the team that scored the first goal in the 3 playoff series between these 2 clubs have won 14 of the previous 16 games. Edmonton has that first goal. Corey Perry with a turnover in the neutral zone. Kevin Fiala has it chopped out of play by Cody Ceci. And we'll have a face-off in the Edmonton zone to the right of Stuart Skinner. Once again, the Oilers able to break through on the power play. We told you, at even strength, LA has outscored Edmonton 11-9. On the power play, Edmonton has outscored the Kings 8-0.
Oilers need to play with the lead here, Jack. Don't want to give LA a quick response.
Dubois lining up against Ryan McLeod. LA's done a lot of things right tonight, but trails 1-0, and now Fogle tried to split the seam off the draw and paid for it. A hard hit by Mikey Anderson, who has the puck now for LA in the neutral zone. Fiala looking for Dubois. Couldn't get around Cody Ceci. Darnell Nurse will reverse it to his partner up the right-hand side, Ryan McLeod. Across center, and from the LA blue line, he'll snap it around the boards. Anderson back behind for Drew Doughty. Locates Dubois, looks up ice, delivers a pass out of the reach of Fiala, and chipped back in by Ceci. McLeod is onside, hits a cutting Darnell Nurse down the seam. Didn't get a backhander away. Fiala with an outlet. Dubois thought his stick was held by Darnell Nurse, and I'm not sure he's wrong. Here's LaFerriere, and he shoots over the right shoulder of Stuart Skinner. Nurse. That puck came off the corner boards, and now Nurse and Dubois collide again. Matt Roy with control of the puck for Los Angeles. Doughty up the right-hand side. Trevor Moore trying to get around Nurse. Left it in the corner for Victor Arvidsson. Now Moore has it back. It's been a quiet series for Trevor Moore. Victor Arvidsson, backhand wraparound save. A second save by Stuart Skinner on Arvidsson. A third chance, and Roy missed the net off a feed from Philip Deneau. Cleared by the Oilers down the middle. Bouncing puck grabbed by Kane. Could not squeeze through traffic, and Roy takes an outlet from David Riddick, his goal goaltender. Off to Philip Deneau. Hits the line. Drop pass, shot. And Kulak that time blocked it against Trevor Moore. And the puck flies out of play with 6:21 to go in the second period. Edmonton 1, LA no score.
Kings with a real good sustained push here. And we'll mention that...
Pretty good gamesmanship from Darnell Nurse, too.
Yeah. Adam Henrique is back on the ice with McDavid and Hyman.
Right now, as a matter of fact, for this defensive zone draw, Bouchard and Ekholm. Bouchard with a power play goal at 11:49. Bouchard came into this game third amongst the league's defensemen in playoff scoring. And McDavid now with his 10th Stanley Cup playoff point. Once again has hit double digits in a series. McDavid slid it back to Evan Bouchard, who wallops the puck deep into the LA zone. Taken by Drew Doughty, advanced through to Adrian Kempe, and nifty backhand chip by Kopitar, but Bouchard able to disrupt. Kempe held the zone, collided with McDavid. The puck squirted free and then was centered by Byfield. Kempe comes up with it, looks for traffic in front, instead feeds Doughty. Waits, slide step to his right, then tried to center, and that was well defended as Matthias Ekholm had his net front completely patrolled, and all the Kings can do after Ekholm cleared it was dump it right back in. Line change for Los Angeles. Ekholm directing traffic. 5.5 to go, second period. Edmonton 1, Los Angeles 0. Ekholm blasts it in. Picked up along the boards by Drew Doughty. Over to Jordan Spence. Around and stolen by Derek Ryan. Interior pass intended for Holloway. Picked off by Spence. He tried to hit Trevor Lewis, who lost the puck in his feet. And ultimately grabbed by Vinny Desharnais, the 6'7" big man with the puck. And he'll skate up the right-hand side. Slither one ahead. Holloway knocked off balance. Derek Ryan in the mix. And now Blake Lizotte comes away with it for L.A. Lizotte with a shot off the rush wide of Stuart Skinner, who paddled that one into the corner. Kings back on the puck. Lizotte to Fiala, trying to get through Matthias Janmark. Back to the point, Jordan Spence. Lizotte trying to shake, and here's a save made by Skinner on a one-timer by Spence from long range. Spence steps up, takes another slap shot, and a broken stick for Ryan McLeod, but it's a blocked shot and forces LA back to center. Dubois ahead for Laferriere, who turned it over as he tried to give it up for Carl Grunstrom, who soccered it back to the point for Spence. And coming free to clear that puck up the right-hand side was Matthias Janmark. 4.25 remaining in the second period. Crowd of 18,145 urging the Kings on, but not getting a puck touch. That time was Grunstrom, and it turns into an icing call against Matt Roy and the Los Angeles Kings, who've outshot Edmonton 18-9, yet trail 1-0. Power play goal, Evan Bouchard from McDavid and Draisaitl, who has now scored at least a point in each of his last 13 playoff games against the Kings.
Edmonton ran in a little bit of trouble, though, there. In that 1-3-1, Desharnais put the puck up the boards and gave Holloway nowhere to go. Holloway got stripped on the play, got knocked to the ice, and they started to transition back and got a look or two out of it.
Draisaitl and McDavid now with 62 points in 16.5 playoff games against the LA Kings. A soft floater from the point comes from Zach Hyman, disappears into the midsection of David Riddick. And with 4:01 to go in the second period, we'll take another break and come back to Crypto.com Arena. Sold out in Los Angeles, but the Oilers looking to take a 3-1 series lead, have taken the lead in Game 4. It's 1-0 Edmonton. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of oil country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
And I'm Zach Hyman.
And when we're not making juicy, sweet passes
or having my goals disallowed,
we're working for Legacy Heating and Cooling.
You know, guys used to call me a plumber.
And now they call you an AC repairman.
Nice.
Hey, guys, you're not here to fix air conditioners. You're here to sing the jingle.
Oh.
Well.
Okay.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year from qualified installers. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Face-off left side of David Riddick. The Edmonton Oilers send down Connor McDavid to take this ozone draw, flanked by Henrique and Hyman. Bouchard and Ekholm defensively. A scoreless first period. Bouchard pounding home a power play one-timer for McDavid and Draisaitl for the game's only goal here in the second. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you on our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Kopitar wins the draw for McDavid, and it's sent up the left-hand glass by Mikey Anderson. Chased down by Ekholm and worked up the right-hand side. McDavid mashed into by Kopitar. Now Henrique with Doughty back. Hyman tried to give it to Ekholm, and it was cleared by the Kings back to center. Dialed back up by McDavid. Bouchard will dump it behind the LA defense. Anderson first on the puck for the Kings up the left-hand side. Edmonton won the regular season series between these two clubs 3-1. If they win tonight, they'll lead the playoff series 3-1 with a chance to close it out in Wednesday's Game 5 at Rogers Place. A dump in by the Kings. Bouchard up the left-hand side, and it's Adam Henrique looking for Draisaitl. The puck slides deep into the LA zone, mishandled initially by Trevor Moore, and then worked up the right-hand side for Matt Roy. Beautiful hand-eye by Draisaitl. Knocked it down for Kane. Little spin move left circle, but a blind centering pass intended for Nugent-Hopkins goes awry. Arvidsson and Moore carve it out of the half-wall area, and Arvidsson from center ice to Trevor Moore. A little spin move, and then a drop and a shot, and a save made by Stuart Skinner. But this is the line that's got to get going if LA is going to come from behind and win this series, and that's the Moore-Deneau-Arvidsson line. Trevor Moore, stick handling from the high slot. He'll send it back down low. Looking for Gavrikov. Arvidsson is there. Right corner for Philip Deneau. Tried to backhand it short side on Skinner. Was alert there to make the save. Fiala's blast did not get through from the high slot. Nugent-Hopkins had it taken away by Fiala, but the puck came outside the zone anyway. Spence to Matt Roy, and it's driven back in. Lewis put it out into the slot area, and Fiala couldn't get there. Nugent-Hopkins first on the puck for Edmonton. Nurse failed to clear. Across to Jordan Spence by England, who took the penalty that has changed the complexion of this game. Lazat. England looking to receive and did not handle the puck cleanly. It might have glanced off that broken stick on the far side of the ice. As Draisaitl changes, Lewis carries it back in. One-timer ripped by Spence and a double ricochet fought off by Skinner. Rebound grab by Fiala. LA pressing for the equalizer. Final 90 seconds of period 2, and the Oilers lead the Kings 1-0. In game 4, Spence to Lewis, right circle. He's pressured. Put it in the corner for Lazat. Out to the point. A beautiful read and a tip by Dylan Holloway chases LA all the way back into its own zone.
There's Holloway's speed again.
England to Spence. That time it was his hockey sense. Yep. Good read and a poke check that sent that puck fluttering back the other way. Now Ryan McLeod at center ice will scamper in around England. Centers, and that was just out of the reach of Zach Hyman. Flying into the blue paint with a minute to go. The Kings back through the middle of the ice, and it's lofted in off the short glass. McDavid to Bouchard, up to Ryan McLeod, and he'll turn and twist it over to Zach Hyman. Hyman had it knocked away by Drew Doughty. McDavid with a steal. Puck juicily sitting just outside the blue line, and Hyman will give it up for Bouchard, who slaps it back in with a half minute to go in this second period. Oilers Oilers have been the best third-period club under Chris Knobloch, so LA does not want to incur a deficit with 20 minutes to go. But that's what's staring the Kings in their collective faces, as with 20 seconds to go in the period, it's Doughty up the right-hand side. Moore going nowhere. Ekholm drilled him, and Draisaitl cleared back through center. Shot in by Dubois. Again, knocked down by Bouchard. The Kings can't get it in deep, but Bouchard put too much on it, and it's an icing call. We'll see whether they put any time back on the clock. Right now, it's 2.3 left in the second period, so that likely not going to hurt the Oilers in terms of the ill-advised icing.
Well, you got Derek Ryan and Leon Draisaitl on the ice. Your two best face-off men that are dressed. That's a right-side draw. Looks like Leon's going to take it.
Against Dubois. Maybe for the power matchup.
And Dubois is below 40% in this series, Jack, on face-offs.
So Draisaitl with 2.3 to go. A face-off to Skinner's right. Tie up off the draw, and Edmonton will take a 1-0 lead to the final 20 minutes, looking to take a commanding 3-1 series lead. The Oilers are 20 minutes away from doing just that, despite managing just 10 shots in the first 40 minutes. But one of those, an absolute howitzer from Evan Bouchard, Edmonton's 8th power play goal of the series, and that is the margin tonight thus far in Game 4. The Oilers lead at 1-0 with 20 to play.
Well, this has been a classic road performance from a team that is playing a team that is probably more they're certainly more desperate, and they're playing more desperate. I mean, the Kings have had a strong 5-on-5 push in this game. Edmonton's capitalized on their brilliant power play.
The only power play of the game.
And we didn't think there was going to be a lot. And there hasn't been a lot. But it needs to be stated. You know, LA's had a good push. They're not the highest scoring team in the league, Jack, as you know. And the Oilers have done a better job in the last 5 periods here. They've only given up the 1 goal against in the last 5 periods. Got to stay out of the box. There's going to be opportunities on counter-strike for Edmonton. I'm not saying you sit there and play prevent defense, but what I am saying is they might start to fly a defenseman and have him activate and try to create some odd-man rushes. And with the way the puck's hopping and bouncing, you might be able to chip one past him and get a transition going the other way. So you've got the lead. What's that stat again under Chris Knobloch?
Well, they've got 99 third-period goals, and they're plus 41 in the third period since Chris Knobloch took over 13 games into the season. And as a result, Edmonton closed with a 49-27-6 record, caught LA, passed the Kings, and finished 5 points ahead of Los Angeles to earn home ice advantage for the 3rd consecutive year in this series.
And you got a chance here to really put yourself in a good spot. So,
well, a better spot than the last 2 years.
Play a smart, intelligent period and know that you're going to get even more from the Kings here in period number 3, John.
Edmonton 1, Los Angeles 0. 40 minutes complete in Game 4. We'll have more live coverage back to our 6:30 CHED Studios, flagship home of the Oilers Radio Network. That's Reed Wilkins. That's Rob Brown. That's next. Edmonton 1, Los Angeles 0. A period to go in LA. This is Ford Dealers NHL hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
It's our YEG with 630 CHED.
CHED listeners, do you know someone who bleeds orange and blue? We're on the hunt for the ultimate Oilers superfan. Nominate them today at 630ched.com for their chance to catch the oil during their playoff run. Then enjoy the hilarious comedic stylings of Kevin Hart as the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival returns to Kinsman Park on July 13th. Tickets at greatoutdoorcomedyfestival.com.
For details on these and more events, visit 630ched.com. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
David cuts left, swooping, dishing, tries to one-timer, Bouchard scores, and it's 1-0 Edmonton in Game 4.
Bombs away, the only goal of the game through 40 minutes. Bouchard on the power play, taking you into the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner's zone. Rob, the Oilers power play strikes again with Andreas England in the box for holding.
Well, the only way you can stop the Oilers' power play is not take penalties, and the LA Kings have been very good tonight. Now, the one that they took, the way the game was being played, as physical as it was, probably an iffy call, but take advantage of the calls when you get them. And this is, again, another example of why the Oilers' power play is so good. Everyone on the LA Kings thought when Connor's going from one side to the other, he's picking up speed, he's going backdoor for a one-timer. And Riddick saw that too. So he's cheating over to get to Leon. So when it comes out to Bouchard, Riddick doesn't have enough time. Bouchard, good play, shoots far side. That's a lot further for Riddick to come back and get to. And Moore wasn't able to get into the shooting lane, though I'm not sure he really wanted to. That was about a 97-mile-an-hour bomb by Bouchard. But the stats show in this series, 5-on-5, these teams both have 10 goals. The Oilers have 8 power play goals. The LA Kings have none. The reason the Edmonton Oilers have a chance tonight to go up 3-1 in this series is their power play has been unstoppable, and the LA Kings have had no answer to it.
Yeah, shots are 20-10 in favor of the Kings, 10-6 in that period. They're playing hard, Rob. They're busy in the Oilers' end. A couple of close calls for them that period. Skinner with a couple of good saves. I'm watching the game with Mooner. We think Nugent Hopkins got a piece of that one chance when Roy came in from the point and tried a shot. It's desperate times. I mean, to be fair, it's not as if the Oilers aren't playing desperate themselves, but the Kings are going after them tonight for sure.
Well, this has been the best 40 minutes the Kings have put together in the playoffs. Just for them, they have to work so hard to score. They don't have guys that, outside of Kempe, that you, when a blink of an eye, can put the puck past you. These players have to, it's time after time, it's bulk and quantity on net as opposed to the quality. And Skinner's been good. He hasn't had to make a ton of grade A saves, but the ones he has, he's been very good. And what the Oilers have been very good too at clearing out and not giving easy second looks in front of the net. Everything both ways has been, there's a stick in the way, there's a body in the way, you're being tugged, you're being pulled, you're being grabbed. There is very little ice out there, especially in the blue paint or in the trapezoid right in front of the net. This has been a fantastic hockey game, and the Edmonton Oilers are playing LA Kings style hockey. They're getting the lead, and they're sitting on it right now. So we're going to need probably 2 or 3 big saves by Stuart Skinner in the third period, but also look for the Edmonton Oilers to have a push, because the LA Kings are going to have to sell out. And when they do, mistakes can be made.
Well, yeah, and I think Bob made a good point, too, there, kind of what you're saying. When him and Jack were wrapping up, I mean, obviously the Oilers got to defend first. Is there going to be a counter-attack opportunity at some point? And the Oilers have, I mean, beyond just McDavid and Draisaitl, they have players who can make the Kings pay if they can get out on a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2.
Well, they got players with speed. Actually, the best chance outside of the Bouchard goal in the second period for the Oilers was Foegele. He picked the puck up in his own zone. The LA Kings had a defenseman jump in. Foegele got behind, and he had speed all the way from the top of his own circle. And we know how hard his wrist shot is, and Riddick had to make a really good save on Foegele there. Give credit to both goaltenders have been excellent in this game. You know, Riddick's come in. It's one of those things when the backup goalie's coming in, something's gone wrong. And for Riddick, it's the goalie in front of him did not play well enough, and he settled it down for the LA Kings. They're playing better in front of him. But it's been a tough game. Like, it's been a physical hockey game. Both teams are going to need that cold tub that they were showing on between periods on the Sportsnet broadcast. But it is exactly what you expected in a game that the LA Kings must win if they want to come back in this series.
Yeah, the NHL.com official stats have 36 hits for the Kings, 20 for the Oilers. So LA doing everything that they can tonight to tie up this series, but they will have to try to rally here in the third period as the Oilers lead it 1-0. Bouchard from McDavid and Draisaitl. at 11:49 of the second period. Bouchard's first of the playoffs. That is the only goal to this point. We'll check the out-of-town scoreboard when we get back. One team's season ended earlier today. On the Oilers Radio Network.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Row Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. What's being described as an operational issue temporarily closed London drugstores today in the Edmonton area and across the country. There's no word on the exact cause, though, how long the closure will last or the impact it will have on people needing their prescriptions filled. A reminder for drivers that starting tomorrow morning at 7, Stony Plain Road will be closed between 131st Street and 139th Street as LRT construction on the West Valley Line ramps up. The work is not expected to be done until late August. Montreal's McGill University says it's in talks with lawyers retained by pro-Palestinian student activists who have set up camp on the school grounds, demanding the university divest and cut ties and funding from Israeli institutions and companies in response to Israel's offensive in Gaza. And Ontario's education minister says the province has decided to limit cell phone use in classrooms, restrict access to all social media networks, and ban vaping on school properties this fall in an attempt to improve safety and help students focus in class. News on demand at 630ched.com.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a one-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit skysignaturesuites.com for details.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit rogers.com/5G. That's rogers.com/5G.
The intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Trying to do the same for Val Nichushkin. 18 seconds to go in the third period. Rantanen steals it away. Nichushkin has it at the red line towards the net. Yeah! Better boy Val! Throw the Chapeau! His first career hat trick! And you thought it was snowing before with the pom-poms. Here comes
Connor McGahey with the call. Altitude Sports as the Avalanche. I don't know if you noticed, it was a hat trick for Val Nichushkin. Avalanche beat the Jets 5-1. Jets on the brink of elimination as Colorado now leads the series 3-1. We're checking the scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. The Washington Capitals eliminated the heavily favored New York Rangers, took care of business in Game 4 today, 4-2 the final, so a sweep there for the Rangers. And the Vancouver Canucks lead Nashville 3-1, just a dramatic win for the Canucks. They're trailing 3-1 late in the third period. They get a couple goals from Besser to tie it, including the 3-3 goal at 19:52 of the third period. Goes to overtime, and Elias Lindholm wins it. Canucks 4-3 over the Predators, so they're going home with a chance to advance. Of course, the winner of Canucks Predators plays the winner of Oilers Kings. The Oilers had a day off in Los Angeles yesterday, which meant former Anaheim Duck Adam Henrique got to visit his family.
It was great to get home. Went to gymnastics, so that was good. But no, lucky to be playing here and able to get home and see the family, and certainly, a personal morale boost to be home and around everybody. Yeah, I think just in general, it's gives everybody a chance to kind of almost take a breath, to reset the mind, and a lot of recovery goes into those days, especially now, just playing every other day, and what each game kind of entails for everybody. So I think just a good day for everybody to get a lot of recovery, and lucky for me, our situation, which is nice to just get home and be around the family and the girls. So a good day, but then it's right back to work. Everybody knows what's on the line for us.
A little bit there from Adam Henrique. Also, baseball today, the Blue Jays able to snap their 5-game losing streak. They beat the Dodgers 3-1. Evan Bouchard, a power play goal in the second period. Oilers lead the Kings 1-0 heading to the third with Jack and Bob. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options, or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
At Northern Lakes College, students work, raise their family, and complete their certificate, diploma, or partnership degree. With NLC's supported distance learning model, you can do it all in a flexible online classroom. Programs in academic upgrading, business, health, human services, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of courses available through continuing education. Skate into your new career in a learning environment that works for you. NorthernLakesCollege.ca. Everywhere you need them to be.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Oilers trying to close this game out and grind their way to a Game 4 victory and a 3-1 series lead in this best-of-7 first-round set. The LA Kings, remember, had the best record in the National Hockey League on home ice after the All-Star break, 14-3-1 under head coach Jim Hiller, who, like Chris Knobloch, was a mid-season replacement behind the bench. But here in the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Oilers blasted the Kings 6-1 on Friday night. And tonight, own a 1-0 lead as we head to the final 20 minutes. Evan Bouchard, a power play goal set up by McDavid and Draisaitl, and that's the margin. McDavid is fifth 10-point series, one of 8 players in the history of the game to do that. The last and most recent, Joe Sakic.
You're in pretty good category there, but he's in pretty good category in a lot, Jack.
Yeah. Wins the face-off. Flipped up by Bouchard over the line. Oilers trying to maintain the offensive zone. McDavid, Henrique, and Hyman as we're underway here in the third period. Doughty around to Mikey Anderson. Did not get it out. Bouchard and Ekholm are the D pair. Oilers left to right in their white sweaters in this final period. Kings in the black, white and silver. Drew Doughty trying to fend off a determined Zach Hyman. Mikey Anderson up the middle. Kempe able to gather. And the Kings need to reload once more. Edmonton hemming LA in here. An outlet finally delivered to Arvidsson, but he lost the handle at the hands of Draisaitl at center ice. Forced back into the LA zone. Kings have outshot the Oilers 20-10 through the first 41 minutes of this hockey game. 10 shots for Edmonton. Fired in by Philip Deneau up the left-hand side. And, of course, the Oilers not only were a top 4 scoring team this year in the National Hockey League, but they had the #1 shots on goal average in the entire league. Hasn't mattered tonight thus far. Deneau chipping it in from the left-hand side, trying to get it out. Warren Foegele did manage to nudge it as far as center, and now Philip Deneau has had a quiet series with a drop-off to Kevin Fiala. LA will reset once more in its own zone. Gavrikov for Matt Roy. Up the middle, played by Lazat. Out of the reach of Fiala. Clubbed back in by Foegele. There might have been a play to be made there. The Kings will send it off the stick of Desharnais and down deep for Stuart Skinner. Up the left-hand side, Warren Foegele hits Desharnais in stride from center. He'll dump it in. That's paddled to the corner by David Riddick, who was beaten cleanly on that one-time slapper from Evan Bouchard midway through this hockey game. Up the right-hand side, Laferriere. In from the right wing boards, a shot slithered wide. Rebound to Bois. Redirected and a tough save on Laferriere made by Skinner. Up the left wing boards, Dylan Holloway worked it off the wall and down deep. England, who took the only penalty this hockey game, that set Edmonton up with a power play. And now he'll be guilty of icing as Holloway was able to body up on Carl Grundstrom. That was good work and good body positioning from Dylan Holloway. And with 2.5 gone by in the third period, Edmonton will toss out its top line for an ozone draw.
Maybe the best chance of the game, and Skinner with a terrific save for the Kings.
On Laferriere.
Yes, I mean, I know they've got the advantage in the shots, but the Oilers haven't been able to finish off some opportunities in around the net.
Skinner's had a rocking chair type of game thus far. 21 saves, but he has not been pelted with an assortment of quality chances. Sent in deep by Grundstrom off the draw. Skinner will leave it to Ekholm. That's not taking anything away from Stuart Skinner. It's just been the type of game it's been. Bouchard will fire it in. Around the boards, Mikey Anderson. Turned, saw Zach Hyman, got the puck past him. Quentin Byfield put it off the skate of Connor McDavid. Drew Doughty sent it off the linesman. And that deflection handled by Andrei Kopitar. Up to Anderson, to the middle of the ice. Byfield tried to toss it toward the middle, stolen by Connor McDavid. Left wing shot blocked by Doughty, who stayed in the lane. Losing his stick was Byfield. Doughty was punished. A hard hit by Henrique, and then coming over Zach Hyman. But he coughed it up. Byfield, drop pass. Anderson, shot, save, Skinner. And he's got the rebound. 16:36 to go in the third period, and quite honestly, you'll take your chances against Mikey Anderson from about 25 feet. He had 2 goals all season. He does have one in the postseason. Face-off coming right side of Stuart Skinner.
Bob Miller's on the board here. You said it earlier, Jack. What a classy fella he is.
Hall of Famer and a statuesque presence inside and outside Crypto.com arena. And I use that adjective deliberately. He actually has a statue out there. Here's a blast by Roy and a save by a lunging Skinner. The rebound back in front. Wrist shot fought off by Skinner against Trevor Moore. He was cross-checked to the ice by Darnell Nurse, who then put it up the left-hand side, hit a linesman. And now it's Deneau, short side Moore, stopped by Skinner. And the rebound gobbled up and cleared by Cody Ceci. Good flurry by the Kings, but Skinner holding sway. Now a centering pass from Draisaitl, intended for Nugent Hopkins, broken up. Evander Kane kept the puck in the offensive zone. Deneau whipped it across. Gavrikov up the right-hand side, deflected away from Moore by Darnell Nurse. Arvidsson crashes in against Cody Ceci, pulled out of traffic by Ryan Nugent Hopkins expertly, and up through center. Darnell Nurse will shoot it in. Got it past David Riddick. Jordan Spence able to seal off against McLeod, and Andreas Englund will quickly advance through to Kevin Fiala. Now Trevor Lewis, the veteran, with a wrist shot from distance and an easy save for Skinner. The rebound played up to Ryan McLeod by Corey Perry. Lewis dumped McLeod to the ice. He popped right back up, got it to Perry, reeled in by Lazat at center ice for the LA Kings. He'll backhand it in deep and charge in against Vinny Desharnais. Around the boards, trying to maintain his Fiala thrust off balance. Englund held the line, albeit momentarily. Chopped out finally by McLeod. And LA's 20 minutes to live is down to 15.
But they're winning a lot of puck battles, Jack.
Edmonton does not have a third period shot on goal, just 10 in the game. LA, 6 shots on goal in this period. Edmonton, none. Bouchard up the middle. McDavid sends it in deep. Doughty will reverse to Mikey Anderson. Now Hyman from behind the net, trying to wrap around, and Riddick got over in time. Brunstrom will chip it up the right-hand side. Ekholm made a great play to prevent that from getting in deep. Hyman created for Adam Henrique. Pulls up top of the right circle. Send it behind the net, using the geometry to locate McDavid. Left point, it's Ekholm. Around the boards, and Doughty able to cover up and angle it right back to Mikey Anderson for a reload for the Kings. The outlet to Andrei Kopitar. He's stifled immediately by Bouchard, who wrestled the puck free and then golfed it deep into the zone. That was handled finally by Doughty, and Anderson with a restart for the Kings. Up to Adrian Kempe, building speed through the neutral zone. He elects to backhand it toward the net, and Skinner will freeze it with 13:52 to play in the hockey game. Skinner, perfect thus far, 26 saves. Edmonton 1, Los Angeles no score. The only goal this hockey game, mid-second period. Bouchard, a slapper on the power play, set up by McDavid and Draisaitl. That's the difference for now, but a lot remaining in Game 4. The Oilers look to take command of this series and go up 3-1. They've got a 1-0 lead with 14 to play. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Roll Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
1-0 our score. Edmonton the lead in Game 4 as the Oilers look to take a 3-1 lead in this series and have the opportunity to close out Los Angeles in Game 5 on Wednesday night at Rogers Place. Bob and I will have the call for you on 630 CHED, the Oilers Radio Network, and Radio Player Canada app, but we don't know what time it is. Off the draw, beautiful spinning wrist shot taken by Byfield, and an alert stop made by Stuart Skinner, his 29th of the evening. Kopitar, this time on the draw against Leon Draisaitl. And Draisaitl battled to a face-off win. Nurse cleared it up the left-hand side. Nugent Hopkins to Evander Kane. Powers right by Matt Roy. Wrap around. And Riddick had it jammed up against the near post. Wow. That was very close. Riddick keeping it just 1-0 for Edmonton. He was the starter over Cam Talbot tonight in Game 4 with LA's season at a most precarious position. The Kings earned this matchup with Edmonton with a last-second come-from-behind victory against the Chicago Blackhawks on the final night of the regular season. And that shifted the series from Edmonton and Vegas and LA and Dallas to Vegas and Dallas and Edmonton and LA for a third consecutive year. Nugent Hopkins will dump it in. Riddick to leave it for Gavrikov. Now Philip Deneau as Kane finishes his hit on Gavrikov. Arvidsson at center ice. Looking left wing for Philip Deneau. Against Draisaitl, he'll wind it around for Victor Arvidsson. Deneau had it get by him. Gavrikov churning toward the puck. Kane did not get it out. Roy, Deneau, Arvidsson, slap shot and glove save made by Skinner. That's save number 30. With 13 minutes to play, Edmonton maintains a 1-0 lead.
Banner can't make that play there. You got to get the puck up the boards and out. Now he is a left-handed shot playing the right wing, and he's played mostly left wing in his career.
Yeah, he has not played a great deal of right wing.
But he wants to be in the top 6. Got to make plays.
Well, and he's earned his way into the top 6. I mean, he not only wants it, but I think he played his way into it with that Gordie Howe hat trick on Friday night. A face-off win for Connor McDavid. Chris Knobloch felt he was on the verge of a breakthrough, gave him some time, and was rewarded. Sent in deep. It's not the first time Kane has had a major impact on a Game 3 in Los Angeles. 2 years ago, he had a hat trick. Byfield to Drew Doughty, and now Kopitar drops it off. Byfield scampering his way into the zone. Wrist shot off the rush, fought off by Skinner. Big hop pass Doughty. Then he caught a piece of McDavid. They let that slide.
Wow.
Could have been interference. Drop off by Kempe to Doughty. Edmonton has had 15 power plays in this series. LA just 10. And now McDavid from Bouchard. He'll guide it in. Kevin Fiala after the puck for Los Angeles. Right-hand side. Dubois had it zip between his skates, and then he'll turn into an icing call against the Kings with 12:09 left in regulation in a Game 4 that has seen LA outshoot Edmonton 30-11. The Oilers nevertheless have a 1-0 lead. A game reminiscent of Game 3 between Vancouver and Nashville, where the Predators outshot the Canucks 30-12, yet lost.
And Edmonton's had some good chances around the net, and Perry, McLeod, and Fogle, what a time it would be for those guys to break through.
McLeod, just one goal in his last 23 games, including the end of the regular season. Desharnais forced it down low for Warren Fogle. Stepping up is Kulak. He'll put it behind, and that's taken away by Drew Doughty. Kings will bust out here. Dubois shot from beyond the blue line. Fiala had it steered aside by Skinner, and that puck played into the bench on the left-hand side, and that faceoff will remain in the Edmonton defensive zone with 11:49 to go in the third period.
Not seeing a lot of Janmark. He got clattered into about 6 minutes left, right when Edmonton got the about 9 minutes left in the second period.
Well, remember, he broke his foot in Game 1 of this series a year ago. Came back for the Vegas series, got hurt again. Face-off left side of Stuart Skinner.
Draisaitl up to take the draw here from McLeod.
Against Arvidsson. And Draisaitl won the draw, ducking inside Deneau to keep it alive for the Kings. Board, Arvidsson fell, did not get a shot away, and it's lifted back successfully by McLeod. Been that kind of night for both teams at times. Doughty nudged it ahead for Moore. Lead pass, Arvidsson. He'll skate into it with Desharnais back defensively. Arvidsson back to the point. Jordan Spence, little spin move. Put it down low. Trevor Moore, quick check over his shoulder. Desharnais nearby. He'll guide it out. Jordan Spence snapped it in front. Arvidsson to Moore. Wrist shot. Save. Stuart Skinner. Rebound. And Skinner held on to it long enough to get the whistle. 11-11, Make-A-Wish. We got a high sticking call.
LA's going to get a power play here.
Deneau checking for blood. Going to the box is Brett Kulak. He's wrapped up in front, but I thought it was late. I didn't see it. Now, I'm not saying it didn't occur, but the one replay Bob and I have seen, I didn't see it. And because it's only a 2-minute high stick, it's not reviewable.
So this is the first time.
Kulak didn't argue.
So Derek Ryan's going to take the call here. And Sam Carrick went 1 out of 6 against Kopitar on the penalty kill the other night in the D zone.
The Oilers still were a perfect 5 for 5 on the kill, 10 for 10 in this series. LA finally its first power play. Off the draw, you've got Drew Doughty. He'll snap it to Fiala. Centering pass off the pads of Skinner. Up top to Doughty. Challenged by Nugent Hopkins, who's out there with Ryan, Desharnais, and Ekholm. That's your Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. A lunging Doughty holds the zone in the high slot. Kempe, left side, Kopitar. Doughty across to Arvidsson. Left circle shot blocked by Desharnais. Rebound, Kopitar. Getting a piece of it was Ekholm. Kempe to the middle of the ice. Stolen away by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He's away with Derek Ryan shorthanded. Gives it up. Ryan left circle. Tried to feather it back to Nugent-Hopkins, and that was broken up. Fiala with a puck in his clutches. 10.5 left in regulation. 1:15 on the LA power play. Edmonton won. The Kings no score. Kopitar into the offensive zone. Floats it to the opposite corner. Nurse outreach Fiala. Played back to Doughty. Right point. Doughty had his pass deflected, and then Nurse fired it down the middle. Riddick will knock it down and leave it for Doughty as the Oilers have killed off the first half of this Los Angeles power play. Philip Deneau building speed to Trevor Moore. Left point. Kicks it back to Doughty. Now Deneau on the left half boards. Reaching for it is Janmark. Back on the ice. Apparently okay. Adam Henrique challenging Doughty. Ceci and Nurse round out the penalty-killing quartet. Arvidsson to Dubois. Spinning is Doughty. Kept it alive. Dubois. Behind the net, Moore. Checked by Ceci. Cleared by Nurse. Past Arvidsson at the point. Arvidsson lunges. Taps it back in. Deneau had to wait to tag back up and then allows Desharnais to rifle it up the right-hand glass. And LA is going to have time for one last rush here. 10 seconds on the power play. 9:20 to go in the hockey game. Here come the Kings, but Byfield is offside right to left. And that will be all for another fruitless Kings power play. They're 0 for 11 in the series, and it's costing them dearly. 9:16 remaining in the third period because it's still an LA power play. We'll keep it moving. And the Oilers, cognizant that they're about to return to full strength, get McDavid, Draisaitl, Ekholm, and Bouchard out. Kulak will come out of the box, race for the bench, and be replaced by Zach Hyman. Blake Lizotte on the face-off dot just outside the Edmonton line. And Draisaitl wins another one. McDavid pushed it out of the zone. Fiala tried to break free. Draisaitl made a steal, flipped it ahead. Now Kulak briefly had possession. Now he'll dump it in. And sure enough, hopping over the boards, Hyman. Edmonton loading up here, coming off a successful kill. Quentin Byfield scampering his way through the middle. Ran into traffic, coughed up the puck. McDavid conservatively back to Bouchard. Stretch play to Draisaitl. From the left wing, he'll snap it around the boards. McDavid beaten to the puck by Byfield. Taken against the boards by Hyman was Matt Roy. Blake Lizotte located the puck and then gave it right back to McDavid. Hyman in tight, and a save made on Leon Draisaitl by David Riddick. That was a big save. Byfield ahead for Matt Roy, and the Kings knock it in deep. 8:25 left in the third period. Edmonton 1, LA nothing in Game 4, this best-of-7 first-round series, and Bouchard slows the pace as both teams change it up. Bouchard. Nugent Hopkins turned it over at center ice. Arvidsson the steal. Nurse is there defensively, and Arvidsson will go nowhere. Erased in the corner. Kopitar. Adrian Kempe trying to hunt down the puck against Evander Kane. Looking to burrow his way inside. Toss Kane to the ice. No penalty called. Nugent Hopkins up to Nurse. Left wing, Adam Henrique. Put it behind the LA net. And that's taken by England with 7:45 remaining in regulation. Jordan Spence to England. Middle of the ice, Kempe. The only goal of this game scored on an Edmonton power play. The only one the Oilers have enjoyed tonight. Bouchard from McDavid and Draisaitl. Spence, right side, Trevor Moore trying to get around Brett Kulak. Unsuccessful in that endeavor. And taken against the boards, LaFerriere. Turned it over. Corey Perry the steal. And he'll bring it up to the red line for Edmonton. And despite being knocked off balance, got it in deep. Riddick whirled it around the left-hand side. Trevor Moore will shoot it in for Los Angeles. 7 minutes to play as Ekholm goes up the left wing boards. The puck jousted free in the high slot. Played down low. Skinner watches as LaFerriere could not get around Ekholm. And a centering pass by Deneau is picked off and cleared eventually by Corey Perry. Put too much on it. Icing against the Oilers with 6:47 to play in the third period. Edmonton has been outshot in this period 12-2. 32-12 for the game. But Bouchard's power play goal remains the only dent on the scoreboard.
Now a huge draw for Ryan McLeod. Holloway is out there too. He can take some face-offs. He was above 50%. Dubois against Holloway here.
Dubois has had a mostly miserable first year in Los Angeles. He was hoping to redeem himself in the postseason. He won the draw, but Jordan Spence could not keep it in. Neither could Doughty, and the Kings have to fall back into their own end. Right to left, Fiala gets it back from Arvidsson. Down the seam, Arvidsson, right circle, wrist shot, and Skinner got a piece of that one. Fiala, though, had the better angle. Bob didn't take the shot. Jordan Spence, Fiala had 29 during the regular season. Doughty loading up. Fiala one-timer, and that missed badly. High glove. Fiala had 29, Moore 31. Here's Doughty, left circle. Doesn't shoot. One-timer into a crowd, and it hit Dubois. Fiala fired, and it hit his own man. Evan Bouchard peeled it out of traffic up the middle. McDavid, and now Zach Hyman. One-on-one with Kempe back defensively. Tried to change a pace and is smashed against the boards by Kempe. L.A. burrowing in there, trying to extract was Nugent Hopkins. Eventually played over to Drew Doughty. Hunted down by Leon Draisaitl. Jordan Spence trying to play keep away. Pestered by Draisaitl with 5:40 to play in the third period. It's Edmonton 1, Los Angeles nothing. Drew Doughty backhands it over to Spence. Left wing for Byfield. He'll shoot it in. Kopitar behind the net. Kempe. Byfield. Kempe. Byfield couldn't get there, and it's pitchforked out by Evander Kane. This one, perfectly, the outturn draw, as my partner would say. Byfield from Gavrikov, left wing to Kopitar, in over the line, drop pass for Matt Roy, shoveled around the boards, cut off by Desharnais. Then Roy pinched down low, hard. Jammed by Desharnais. On the right half boards, Gavrikov. Anze Kopitar. Quick shot from the point. Slithered wide. Taken by LaFerriere. And this will be cleared by Desharnais. Rammed it off the boards as far as center. LaFerriere stepped up. Got popped by Derek Ryan. And Ryan McLeod is on the puck for Edmonton with 4 minutes and 35 seconds left in this third period. Kulak playing keep away. McDavid did not get a touch. This will be icing against Edmonton. 4:31 on the clock, third period. Edmonton 1, the Kings nothing. The Oilers poised to go up 3-1 in this best-of-7.
Kings have done a much better job in the forecheck. It's come with physicality. They've significantly outshot Edmonton. Skinner's been solid for the Oilers. Important draw here for McDavid against Dubois.
Circle right of Skinner. Tie up off the draw, and Hyman got in there, flicked it back to Desharnais, carried to center by Matthias Janmark, and dumped in. L.A. McDavid, quick shot from the right circle, fought off by David Riddick. Rebound Jordan Spence to Victor Arvidsson. He wanted to gamble on Dubois' speed, and that was an ill-advised gamble. He should have known better against his good friend Matthias Ekholm, who read what Arvidsson was going to do and got back well before Arvidsson could discover that his ploy was going to go for naught. So now, with 4:11 to play in the third period, Chris Knobloch goes right back to McDavid, Henrique, and Hyman for this offensive zone draw. McDavid against Dubois this time in the Edmonton zone off the face-off. Zach Hyman shot forced wide. Rebound comes outside the zone, and Bouchard will dump it right back in. Picked up by Spence and left for Drew Doughty in the corner. Oilers with a 1-0 lead. Despite managing just 13 shots, that would be tied for the fewest they've ever managed in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Both times against Dallas, once in 1999, once in 2003. They lost both of those series. They won in 97. Doughty, LaFerriere, wrist shot, and that went through traffic and picked up by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. 99, in fact, the Stars won the Stanley Cup. Oilers have lost to the eventual champs the last 2 years. Looking to go up 3-1 on the Kings. A clear out by Nugent-Hopkins forces LA back to center. As we come up on 3 minutes to play in regulation, LaFerriere up the right-hand side, Trevor Moore. Shoved off the puck by Darnell Nurse, and Janmark is able to dump it beyond the reach of Gavrikov. And now we're approaching the time where we'll start to keep an eye on David Riddick. Kopitar played it to open ice. No one was there. Gavrikov beaten to the spot by Ryan McLeod. Down low to Derek Ryan. And he'll just melt some time in the far corner. Dug out and retrieved by Quentin Byfield. He'll launch down the middle of the ice. Kempe couldn't catch up to it. Ekholm slammed him against the boards. Byfield with support. McDavid won a battle. Nudged it over to Bouchard, and it's tossed back through the middle with 2.5 minutes left in regulation. Edmonton still up 1-0. Bouchard's power play goal in the second period. The only goal of tonight's game. Skinner to knock down an LA dump in. Ceci up to Henrique. Sandwiched against the boards by Drew Doughty. The puck popped free and out of the zone. At center ice, it's Trevor Moore. Still, David Riddick remains on the pipes. Fiala gave it to Doughty. Then he'll get it back at center ice. Up the right-hand side. Nurse able to pick it off. Send it off glass. And the puck finally skitters free at the LA blue line. Here's Doughty with Riddick poised to come out. Shadowed by McDavid, who makes the steal on Drew Doughty. Moore comes over. Could not rake the puck from McDavid's grasp. And now we're down to 1:45 to play in the third period. Play with a high stick by Nugent-Hopkins. Fiala was the first on it. McDavid shoots it in. Line change coming for Edmonton. Down the stretch in Los Angeles. Game 4. 1-0. Oilers over the Kings. Riddick heading for the bench. Arvidsson at center ice will snap it in. Off Dubois, who got in the way. And Desharnais clears up the right-hand side for an icing call with 1:21 left to play. Jim Hiller's got the erase board out, and I believe Los Angeles will signal a timeout here.
I think the Oilers thought, Desharnais thought it went off a Kings player.
They're not going to get the call, though, and now the Kings will take a timeout with 1:21 to play in a game where they've outshot the Oilers 33-13, out-hit them 41-27. And yet the Oilers have a 1-0 lead on the strength of, once again, their special teams. They've erased the lone LA power play and converted their only opportunity. McDavid at 11:49 of the second period from McDavid and Draisaitl. So there won't be a fatigue factor here because McDavid, remember, had changed. So the LA timeout doesn't really bail Edmonton out.
Draisaitl's at 62% in the series in the faceoff circle, Jack. He's going to be taking it. Henrique's out there as well.
He rarely loses one you need to win.
And Desharnais and Ekholm If they get it, they got to elevate that puck up and out.
And hopefully have enough touch not to draw another icing call. So 6 on 5, the net empty. Riddick on the bench. He's turned aside 12 of 13. Stuart Skinner has stopped all 33 shots that have come his way. And now we've got some loose ice shavings that they want eliminated. And quickly, that's taken care of to the right of Stuart Skinner. Kopitar will take the draw against Leon Draisaitl. Janmark and Henrique are stacked in the slot with Vinny Desharnais, another layered defender behind them. Kopitar and Draisaitl, Kempe and Arvidsson in the slot for Los Angeles. Kopitar won the draw. Fiala, left point, gives it up. Dubois will twirl it down low, letting it go through to Kempe with Arvidsson. Centers for Kopitar. Bumped off the puck by Draisaitl. Hard rim by Ekholm. Sealed by Doughty. Tried to flip it down low, and Draisaitl picked that one off and cleared back to the LA blue line. 1 minute to play in Game 4. The Oilers lead at 1-0. Desharnais a steal, and a length of the ice flip. Recovered by Doughty. Then he fell down. The Oilers were able to change it up. McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, Derek Ryan, Ekholm, and Desharnais to finish. Arvidsson will shoot it in. Desharnais, big windup, did not get it out. Kopitar able to squeeze it off left corner and then rifle it out to Drew Doughty. 40 seconds to play. Fiala, high slot shot, disappears into traffic. Kopitar can't get the rebound. Kept it alive down low for Arvidsson. Pressure from Ekholm, high up on the plexi. That's fielded by Kempe. Chopped down on Desharnais' stick. No penalty called. Ekholm will backhand it up the boards. Fiala trying to hold the zone, can't do it. Cleared by McDavid. 15 seconds to play in Game 4. Edmonton leads 1-0. Here's the furious finish. Slap shot Fiala, towed aside by Skinner. He'll freeze it with 8.4 seconds left in regulation. And the Oilers have boxed the Kings out. And now LA must execute off a face-off.
I don't know how there was not a penalty called. You cannot two-hand a guy's stick right out of his hand. And it gave LA a second chance opportunity. Draisaitl, McDavid on the ice with Janmark.
Nurse and Ceci to finish. Stuart Skinner trying to polish LA off. One more face-off. 8.4 to go. Here we go. Face-off right side of Skinner. Kopitar against Draisaitl. 5 stacked in the slot. Loose puck off the draw. Nurse not able to clear. Kempe right point shot blocked. And the rebound cleared. And Edmonton will win Game 4. Stuart Skinner with his first career Stanley Cup playoff shutout. Final score. The Edmonton Oilers 1. The LA Kings nothing. The Oilers take Game 4 and take command of this best of 7, 3 games to 1.
What a performance from Stuart Skinner tonight.
33 stops.
He stole it tonight. He stole it. Brilliant. Sometimes you need your goalie to do that. They talk about Edmonton being a high-scoring team, and they are a high-scoring team. But, Jack, in back-to-back nights here in Los Angeles, the Edmonton Oilers give up 1 goal combined in a pair of road victories.
Well, remember, Bob, during the course of the regular season, Edmonton was among the league leaders in games where they only gave up 1 goal or less.
Yep.
And so Edmonton, it paves the way for this type of verdict tonight. The first shutout in the Stanley Cup playoffs for the Oilers since Game 7 of the 2022 series against the Los Angeles Kings, when Mike Smith got the job done, shutting out the Kings by a score of 2-0. Ceci and McDavid provided the goals tonight. Tonight, it was Evan Bouchard's power play slapper with 8:11 remaining in the second period. Assists to McDavid and Draisaitl, and Edmonton wins Game 4 by a final score of 1-0. And in doing so, lead the series 3-1 and can close it out in Game 5 Wednesday night at Rogers Place. We're still awaiting a puck drop time, and we might not have it tonight because it may depend on the outcome of Game 5 between the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. So no word word as to when we'll get that face-off, but again, it matches an Edmonton record for the fewest shots for the Oilers in a playoff game, and that was twice against Dallas in 1999 and 2003. Matthias Ekholm now joins us ringside in the aftermath of this 1-0 Edmonton victory. And Matthias, I know the script didn't call for 13 shots for, and I'm certainly not taking anything away from Stuart Skinner, but I felt like largely tonight you held the quality chances down for the LA Kings. Let me get your thoughts on the 60 minutes and how you feel the game unfolded.
Yeah, I thought I agree with you. I think there was as close as to a defensive clinic we put on tonight. It was hard fought to the end. Obviously they came in waves, but I thought we held our own. I thought we weren't just taking on water. There was maybe times where we would have liked to hold on to the puck a little bit more in the offensive zone, but hey, we've scored a lot of goals these first 3 games. It's nice to see we can win games this way too.
All that being said, the other guy had to be error-free, and he was your guy, Stuart Skinner, was error-free tonight. You can't ask for anything better than that. And once in a while, if you're going to go on extended runs, you need to steal one. I'm not saying you outright stole it, but he partially stole it, didn't he?
Absolutely. He was our best player tonight by a mile, and just calm, collected, cool, made the right plays with the puck when he had to, made the big stops. Thought as a team we helped him out good too, but in the end, you need your goaltender to be your best performer every once in a while. And as you said, I wouldn't call it that we stole this game, but it was pretty close.
A final thought in terms of the effort tonight, 1-0. A lot of people, and understandably so, get caught up in what Edmonton brings to the table offensively, but if you look at the league leaders in wins this year where you give up 1 goal or less, Edmonton's right there. Is that an underrated aspect of your team game?
I think so. I think you look at the first period, we knew they were going to come with a push. We were trying to answer that, but at the same time, there's going to be periods throughout the playoffs where you're more or less just weathering the storm. I thought we did that tremendously in the first. Obviously, Stu was great, but I thought as a team too, didn't get ahead of ourselves, didn't start to cheat just because we want offense. We know when we play this way and we're committed this way, we can win games this way, and I thought we showed it tonight. I thought the first period set the tone for it. Thought we got better in the second and closed it out in the third. So it's the playoffs, right? Best time of the year, and we were able to squeak one out.
Speaking of closing it out, that'll be the objective on Wednesday.
Sure will.
Thank you, Matthias.
Thanks, Matthias.
Thanks, guys.
Matthias Ekholm and the Edmonton Oilers with a hard-fought 1-0 victory. And, Bob, you made a couple of comments about the ice. It was a mucking and grinding type of game. The Kings had some territorial control, but I wouldn't say Stuart Skinner had to flop around like a fish out of water to get the win tonight. And, again, you get goaltending and special teams.
You win.
Any level of hockey, that usually adds up. And the Oilers are now 8 for 15 on the power play in this series. The Kings are 0 for 11. And I know the penalty kill is awfully important, but again, the power play is the margin of difference tonight.
100%, and a couple tee-ups reaching out. Tell me, Skinner 60 of 61 in the 2 games here. Remember, he took some of the criticism after the Oilers lost in overtime in game number 2 in Edmonton, that 5-4 game. Well, he ended up stopping Jack 60 of 61 shots. That's a .984 save percentage. You get that type of goaltending with Edmonton's offense and Edmonton's power play, you're going to win games on the road, and that's what happened tonight. Oilers go up 3-1 in the series, and I'm going to take you back, and it's not
1989
or 19. No, I'll go back to 84. It's not the Stanley Cup final, but Grant Fuhr, Edmonton Rays goaltender, game 1 against the New York Islanders.
Oh, that was, yes.
The Oilers won that one, as you know.
And they had no success in the Nassau Coliseum.
No success. None. And think of this barn.
Kevin McClellan got the goal.
There you go. And this barn here used to be a house of horrors for the Edmonton Oilers. Well, guess what? The only horror show that it's been over the last 15 games, the Oilers have now won 11 of the last 15 games in this building.
6-2 in the playoffs when it matters most.
So they have a stranglehold on the series. I don't think LA can play much better. I got to tell you, I think the Kings played a hell of a game, and I think Edmonton's goaltender I don't know how many A-grade scoring opportunities LA had. Maybe 6, maybe 7. Edmonton missed some chances in the first, but at the end of the day, the Oilers had the better special teams, and their goalie was
better.
And that's
if he's perfect and the other guy isn't,
you're going to win. Boy, that's two guys.
That's astute analysis right there. That's why you tune in.
You know what, Jack? Right there, that's the combination of 11 years of post-secondary education between the two of us. The problem is you got your degree in how many years?
4.
Yeah, well, the other 7 years were for the other guy who withdrew from board course.
Few credits shy.
Yeah, about a year and a half.
But you're an alumnus.
Yes, I am. A very proud one. Stuart, and I bring it up with Skinner, and I've talked to Stuart about this, be it an Edmonton Rays goaltender, understanding the pressure in the market that comes with it. Think of how he responded after the game. He took responsibility, said he needed to be better, wasn't happy. He also said they got some lucky breaks. There were people saying, he's making excuses by saying there was lucky breaks. You know what? He got a couple lucky breaks tonight. The pucks didn't ricochet in on the pucks that they did put to the net.
Part of the job of a professional athlete, it doesn't matter how you compartmentalize it or how you justify it or how you rationalize what's happened. That's the strength of being a pro athlete, is flipping the page. And you and I, from the moment we kind of saw Stuart Skinner come into camp in the fall of 2022, we felt like he was a different guy.
He was. And Mike Smith, we got to give credit where credit's due. Mike Smith gave him a little bit of you-know-what. Okay?
Mentorship. Yep.
Right? Or something else.
I don't know what else you were going to say.
Something else.
A kick in the rear? Or I don't know. What were you getting
he's
at?
got a little bit of an attitude that he got from Mike Smith. Yes. Because Stuart's a chill guy, but he does have a competitive edge, and I think that was increased in large part because of Mike Smith. So now here's something to ponder. When do we play next?
Wednesday at
we don't know
time
yet.
To be foreseen. I would suspect either 7:30 or 8.
So the LA Kings, can they play a better game than what we saw tonight?
Well, I think they're not
going to outshoot Edmonton 33-13.
There's some psychological damage that's been inflicted over the last 2 years. The Kings have had the Oilers on the ropes over the last 2 years. They had them on the ropes tonight. And if what you're saying is, Bob, LA's got to be sitting in the locker room, what do we have to do to beat these guys? I think you're exactly right. So they're going to have, and this is where maybe the extra day helps the Kings a little bit to recalibrate. We thought that last year when they had 3 days off to shake off Game 5 and Edmonton was able to scrape out a Game 6 verdict. But I do think LA, as much as anything, they've got to clear some mental hurdles as much as physical when it comes to head-to-head competition.
Jack, they only took one penalty. They were the assertive team. They had the puck a lot, and they got killed. The Oilers scored on their one power play. I don't know how much
this is the second-ranked penalty kill unit in the league, and they are 7 for 15. They're below 50% after going 84% during the regular season.
So there you have it. Anyways, bottom line, you win the special teams battle, you win the goaltending battle. Most nights you win the game, and that's where we're at. Edmonton wins the game 1-0. They're up 3-1 in the series.
So Game 4 complete. Stuart Skinner earns his first Stanley Cup playoff shutout. He's now 6-3 against Los Angeles, 8-7 overall in the Stanley Cup playoffs with a 33-save bagel of the LA Kings. David Riddick got the start tonight, faced just 13 shots, gave up the one blast from Bouchard on the power play that proved to be the difference in the game. Bouchard at 11:49 of period 2 from McDavid and Draisaitl. The Edmonton power play 24 for 49 over a 3-year span head-to-head against the LA Kings. And while at even strength, the Kings are still a +2. Special teams, Edmonton is a +8. And as a result, the Oilers now own a 3-1 lead in this best-of-7 series and can close it out Wednesday night at Rogers Place. Stay tuned to all your various Edmonton Oilers social media channels. We'll get you the time of Game 5 as soon as humanly possible, and then Bob and I will have the call from what should be a raucous and a hungry for blood type of Rogers Place atmosphere. You know it's going to be loud on Wednesday night. Until then, for Bob Stauffer, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown, this is Jack Michaels saying good night from Crypto.com Arena. The final score in Game 4, Edmonton 1, LA 0. Stuart Skinner, the shutout. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers Postgame Show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
Here's the furious finish. Slap shot Fiala, towed aside by Skinner. He'll freeze it with 8.4 seconds left in regulation. And the Oilers have boxed the Kings out. And now LA must execute off a face-off.
And that is the saves of the game, brought to you tonight by Access Insurance. Alberta Oilfield and construction contractors can count on huge saves when they need it the most. Visit accessinsuranceGroup.com. Oilers are up 3-1. Stewart Skinner, stellar, stones them en route to a 33-save shutout performance. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the Chop Leaf, greens for lunch gets you moving. Now you can shake, shake, shake it. Made with fresh greens and vegetables, choose from 9 delicious, oh-so-shakeable salads. Or try it as a wrap or rice bowl. So however you shake it, you'll enjoy something you can feel good about. Visit the Chop Leaf near you or order online today to enjoy some freshness on the go.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top shelf finishes at no additional cost. Because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
You're tuned in to the Rogers Postgame Show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 630 CHED, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
David cuts left, swooping, dishing, Draisaitl, one-timer, Bouchard scores, and it's 1-0 Edmonton in Game 4.
That's the highlight zone for Century Casino. All in, all games, all season. Century Casino, 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, next to the Edmonton International Airport at Century Mile. Welcome to the winner's zone. We're in the Rogers Postgame Show, the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, and we bring aboard our Inside the Game analyst, Rob Brown. Rob, better call LAPD, call the cops. Thievery here tonight at Crypto.com, or was it?
It was. The LA Kings were the better of the two teams. That was the best, and you talked about it, that's the best LA's played in the series. They finally played real hockey. This is what I've seen LA play against other teams where they're aggressive. They're in on the forecheck. They're getting pucks in deep. If they wanted to have a chance against the Oilers, this is how they had to play. Sitting in the neutral zone, allowing the Oilers to skate out was not working, and it was no good. They put the right goalie in. I thought Riddick, who wasn't as busy, he did make 3 or 4 big saves. They didn't get big saves from Talbot. But as this game wore on, and I'm watching, I'm like, I can't see them beating Skinner. It would have to be something weird and fluky to beat him. He was rock solid tonight. And I know that you probably had it on your show. We did with Reed and I, all the fans that were calling in saying Skinner can't win a big game. Well, Skinner won a big game. The Edmonton Oilers had a goaltender steal them a game tonight. And as I know that, I think it was your interview with Matthias Ekholm earlier where he said sometimes in the playoffs, if you want to go all the way, you've got to win games that you aren't supposed to. And tonight, the Edmonton Oilers did that.
Well, yeah, they did, and they showed some maturation late because, for the most part, they kept the Kings to the perimeter, Rob, especially as the Kings pulled the extra, had the extra man on the ice for Riddick.
You're right. I thought that the Kings' quietest moments of this game probably were the last 3-4 minutes, where they couldn't get pucks to the net. And give credit to the Oilers getting in shooting lanes. Big defensemen like Desharnais and Ceci and Nurse and Ekholm not allowing any pucks through and playing smart hockey. They weren't icing the pucks. They kept flipping it up, getting in the neutral zone. Every time you do that, that wastes about 10 to 12 seconds, and it doesn't allow a free setup on that a face-off would. So the Edmonton Oilers, I think they realized that They may have been fortunate that none of the pucks bounced past them, but as the game went on, they're like, all right, we're in a 1-0 lead. The team that scores first between these two find ways to win, and the Edmonton Oilers, once they got their lead, it was just uphill climbing for an LA team that's not prone to scoring a lot of goals.
All right, Rob, you played. I don't know if LA can play much better. They they had a lot of the zone time. They had 33 shots. The Oilers only had 13. The Kings get a couple days off here. We don't play again till Wednesday. Does that hurt, hinder, or help them?
I think it helps all players that played in the game tonight, because that was one of the most physical hockey games I've seen in a long, long time. Both teams incredibly physical. I agree. LA played an almost perfect game. The call on England probably iffy. Yeah. And other than that, they did not take a penalty. They stayed out of the box, yet were physical. They got pucks on net. They limited the Oilers' top players 5-on-5. It would be a little demoralizing if you're in the LA King dressing room right now, because they played well enough to win, yet find themselves going to Edmonton down 3-1. So I don't know if it helps or hurts the 3 days off. But I know that there's a dressing room right now trying to find the answers of, okay, what do we got to do? And the way they lost too, I think that's the biggest thing. They did everything perfectly, take 1 penalty, and that power play goal beat them. The power play has absolutely killed them the last 3 years, and they've got no answer to it.
Rob, great stuff.
Sounds good, Bob.
The Smart Play of the Night is brought to you by Catelli Smart Pasta with all natural ingredients. It's a smart move for your next meal. Look for the box the next time you shop. I'm going to circle back to the penalty kill. 1-0 game. They fronted pucks. They showed their intelligence. They cut off angles, and they limited the LA Kings, who are now 0 for 11 on the power play. Edmonton's 8 for 15. It's the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit KeplerAcademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Ow!
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
Visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Let's go to the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. All right. Earlier today, the Vancouver Canucks, one of the greatest comebacks in their playoff history. They were down 3-1, up 2-1 in their series. They won a game in which they were outshot 30-12 in Nashville with Casey DeSmith. They ended up having to go to their third goaltender, Arthur Seeloffs, and he got beat 3 times. They're down 3-1. 3-1, less than 3 minutes left in the game. The Canucks tied it as Brock Besser ended up breaking through for a hat trick, got the 3-2 goal, the 3-3 goal. The game goes to overtime, and then the man they picked up in the big trade, Elias Lindholm, left all alone. And the Vancouver Canucks take a 3-1 series lead by virtue of a 4-3 overtime victory in Nashville. The Canucks only got 71 shots on goal in their first 4 games. They're up 3-1 in that series. Wow. Meanwhile, New York Rangers have eliminated the Washington Capitals, who have had the worst goal differential the last 15 years in the NHL of a team that made the playoffs 4 straight games. Alexander Ovechkin did not get a point in that series. Colorado Avalanche gave up 7 in their first game. Well, they can score, we know that, and they end up beating the Winnipeg Jets today in Denver 5-1. They now lead that series 3-1. So the Jets in a little bit of trouble. They're in a lot of trouble because Colorado's a real good team. What else happened today? There was one other game. I can't even. There was so much hockey today that I didn't. No, that was it. I mentioned the 3 games that were played already. Last night, the Bakersfield Condors season came to an end. They lost to Ontario in 2 straight games. Tonight, the Edmonton Oilers got a 33-save performance from Stuart Skinner. Lone goal, Evan Bouchard on the power play. Edmonton beats the Kings 1-0. They lead the series 3-1. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Portage College graduates are incredibly employable. How does Portage know? 99% of employers surveyed said they would hire a Portage grad. Get career ready at Portage College. Learn more by visiting portagecollege.ca.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
Let's go to the Molson Cup 3 Stars, presented by Molson. Whether it's Canadian Ultra Export or Excel, there's a Molson with your name on it. David Riddick stock 12 of 13 shots. He's tonight's 3rd star of the game. Evan Bouchard scored the lone goal for Edmonton. It was a power play marker and a setup from McDavid and Draisaitl. He's tonight's 2nd star. No question about the 1st star. Stuart Skinner made 33 saves, his first NHL playoff shutout. He gives up 1 goal on 61 shots on goal in 2 games here in Los Angeles. Oilers win 1-0. They now lead the series 3-1. They have a chance to close it out Wednesday night at Rogers Place in Edmonton. For my play-by-play partners this season, Jack Michaels, who called tonight's game along with Rob Brown, Reed Wilkins, Brendan Escott, Cam Moon, of course, other play-by-play voice. Studio producers this year, Kellen Kennedy and Angie Quinnell. Kellen at the helm tonight, our ace engineer, and he's done it for years. For 16 years with me here in Los Angeles and Anaheim, Michael Noto. Bob Stauffer saying so long from L.A., from Crypto.com Arena. The Oilers have taken the Kings to the brink. The final score, 1-0. Edmonton leads the series 3-1. A chance to close at home on Wednesday night.
The Rogers Postgame Show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. Portions of this exclusive broadcast are brought to you by Ford, official partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Built Ford proud. Molson, whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or Excel, there's a Molson with your name on it. And Rogers, Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network.
To the net, backhander score!
This live play-by-play broadcast is intended for the private